What is going on, everybody? Antonius the Gamer here, joined by Super SSS Rank,
What's
Press
going
Start
on?
Select Podcast, back for episode 60. Unfortunately, Mikhail wasn't unable to join us for this episode, but we'll be holding it down in his stead, as we usually do when someone can't make it to the episode. S Rank, man, we had the digital E3, right? Is that E3 adjacent?
I
E4?
mean, no, I wouldn't. I
Like,
wouldn't say that.
because like I know like we're at a point now where we're not getting E3 back. None of the companies want to pay to rent out the rooms. I get it. Um, but it's almost like a silent understanding, except for Nintendo, because Nintendo's gonna be Nintendo. Where it's like summertime is a time where it's showcase time. It's here's your state to play, here's your Xbox showcase, here's obviously Summer Games Fest. So basically it's like your YouTube feed was lit for like 3 days straight of just like announcements and release dates and things like that. I mean, I don't know about for you, but like for me, I've always kind of missed the like on the floor, the E3 floor of interviews of like, seeing people at the booths and the giveaways and all that stuff that ties into the games they have announced. Like it just this doesn't have that
E3
anymore.
E3 should have rebranded themselves and added a other thing to it. I'll say it off air because I think my idea is valuable. We might as well just save it for ourselves in the
Okay.
future.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say it.
I'm a but like hit up RDC. Yo, DreamCon, hear me out.
Yeah, like E3 could have. Again, man, I don't know. You get stagnant people with stagnant ideas. They want to do it the way they did in the 1960s.
Mm,
And there you go. There you have it.
yeah.
You write yourself out of history.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I think, it's a lot of things go the way of the bookstore, is what I say to everything.
Yep.
A lot of things go like Barnes and Noble was able to pivot somehow. But if you think about like what you grew up on, where you go from Barnes and Nobles to Books a Million to this to that, it's like all that is done for. So
Kaput.
it's yeah. But yeah, let's get into it. We'll go in order. We'll go based on what was rolled out when. So
Mm,
technically, that would be Sony State of Play was first.
okay.
What are your general thoughts on it? It was just under an hour and pretty much was pretty well organized. I would think like there wasn't anything that felt like they were throwing something together. But what was your general thoughts before we kind of get into some of the games that were announced there?
Um, yeah, I wasn't mad at it. I mean, I'm not expecting anything else from this generation. I think to me, I've already packed my bags and I'm waiting for the next installment. I'm waiting to see what the future is gonna be like. I know, but it's just true. It's just like, like we, they're packing up, man. If anything, they're gonna treat the next PlayStations as the PS 5 Pro is gonna be their Series S.
I think the PS6 or whatever ends up being called is going to be their Nintendo Switch.
Mm. Wow.
If I
Okay.
had to
Well,
guess.
that could happen. That could very well happen. But overall, wasn't really expecting much because I just feel like the consoles are on their way out. They're slowly pulling away. They're gonna save their best ideas for the future. Because that was one of the problems that this generation had. Like games were taking too long to develop.
Mhm.
So um within the future, I do expect AI to contribute to cutting down the time, the development time
Heavily, heavily.
heavily.
Mhm.
So I think right now we're just in the back end of the console cycle ending. So we're just gonna see, I'm waiting for the next installment. But for what I got from the games, I liked what I saw. Um, a lot of some of the surprises were, very well received surprises, and
Yeah,
we'll
as I
get
said,
into
I
that.
think I think it was composed very, very well.
For what I'm expecting, why would they show me anything that they have already even planned? That save that for another E3. I mean, not
Mm,
another E3, but
another
another
state of
state of
play.
play, another
Mhm.
debut console cycle system. So right now, I expect to see a lot of AAA third party games. Just so nothing a first party that I expect to see Sony do. Nothing
Well,
first party.
well, not for nothing, right? And that's why, like, I want to kind of give them their props. Like to me, I still do think it was like a 7 out of 10. I see most of the general consensus is like an 8 out of 10. I'm not mad at that take. It being an eight, I'm like, I think it was pretty good.
Simple
But
fun.
Yeah, like I'm like anywhere in that time in that frame, I'm like I'm not. I mean, people are below rating it lower, but I'm like your expectations were completely unrealistic. That's no Wolverine. It's like they were not going to show off Wolverine. It wasn't
Yeah,
going to
and
happen.
then you saying that while you scrubbing yourself in the shower, they better show Wolverine. It's not gonna help, dog.
Right. Note
It's not gonna.
Insomniac didn't even tweet out the snick from Wolverine's claw. Nothing. No, there was
We
nothing.
don't even know if that game still exists.
Exactly.
So so
Exactly. So I'm like, to me, I'm like, you're setting yourself up for absolute disappointment. If you were thinking like, where's the Venom game? It's like they never said that a Venom game was coming. So to me, I'm like, if you look at it from one, that lens of the things that people wanted to be announced that definitely weren't going to be announced. Two, I think they did a good job for as much as they had to gut a lot of their live service announcements. I'm sure that they were imagine we're going to be taken off by now, right? Notice no mention a marathon. Fair games, who? Like
I just
nothing.
realized that, man,
They didn't even mention those games. So I,
man.
I think that played a part as far as like, well, where's the first party titles? Like, well, we now know that some of their bigger studios were working on live service things that were canceled. So, a lot of those things, like, I don't think whatever Santa Monica is working on is ready yet. So it's just like, all right, if Sony Ben was doing this and that got
Mhm.
canceled, if this studio was doing that and that got canceled, yeah, then there's not gonna be many first party games by default. Like this is it. Like you said, it's this third
This is
party.
it, man.
Maybe PS5, PC day one exclusives, but truly first party PS5 only. No. So that to me, I'm like, that's why like I feel like I was able to enjoy it. I just think in terms of the reason why I didn't rank it higher is because even for some of the third party stuff, I was like, sure, sure. So let's go over some of the things that were announced. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake showed off a bunch of gameplay, the Ape Escape Easter egg, cutscenes. I'll say as an outsider, the graphics look a little off to me. One, like obviously you're gonna tell me more about the gameplay side of things, but I'm like something about this doesn't quite look right
Y-
graphically.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they put enough money into it for me to like give it
It
respect.
kind right, like
It's like
low
a
key,
missed
high key.
opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a missed opportunity. Like, yeah, you should have remade this game. You should have gave this Resident Evil 4 treatment because now
Mm.
people are gonna expect versus because you trap yourself in a way, right? You could have made way more money doing that than what you're doing with this because now people are gonna be like, well, this isn't the Metal Gear Solid I wanted, so I'll wait.
But what do
Right?
you?
I mean, for nostalgia, because it looked kind of flat. I
It
feel
it it
like I'm
it
like,
looks a
man,
little weird, bro.
you know,
I don't know what it was.
David, I'm like David Hayter, bro. You should have found a way to find a guy an artist that really liked Metal Gear Solid,
Mhm.
and he could add his because that trailer with the snake going, I'm like, yo, I don't know who they paid to do this on Fiverr, but dog,
Fiverr's
I
finest.
get it having the cast there, and then the lady just starts singing, and you're so supreme. She just starts singing out of nowhere while they're doing the. I was like, dog, this is it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
Uh, no, but yeah, it do feel off, man, because I'm looking at it and it's just like I feel like, man, they I feel like watching people talk in costumes. Like, yeah, Snake, you'll never stop me. And
Mm.
I'm like, man, so like when is the when is the reptilian gonna come out the suit?
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
shed the skin. And it's just it doesn't look. I really think they should have just went full fledged. Listen, let's take the Kojima engine and let's build Metal Gear Solid 3 in this,
Mhm.
and then we sell it. And I think you would have been people if I could move like how I move in 5, that's a sell. And then you do your nostalgia. You do the nostalgia stuff afterwards. That's a fully fledged product. But that's me as a salesman.
But you
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
do you feel like Konami might have felt a little afraid of, like, they know where 3, like, ranks in the fan base, and they
You're
don't wanna,
making money
like
off of pachinko machines.
yeah, but
What
a
do you have to
pachinko machine is
lose?
different from a
No, no,
console
no, no, no,
release.
no, 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 no. You're making money off of pachinko machines, a significant amount of money. You won't feel this.
No, I'm not talking about,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
talking about, like, I do think, yes, a more budget could be dedicated to the graphics. I'm saying in terms of, like in terms of
You,
rebuilding it from the ground up, maybe they were just like, "What if we do something that people don't like?" It's not like we have
no, no,
Kojima
no,
here to
no.
kinda correct us.
No, like, how would you mess that up though? Everything was, like, how far are you gonna go into the mechanics? Are you gonna add Halo 4 jumping? You're not
Mm,
gonna do that. So
mm,
like within the framework, you're not gonna change anything. The graphics are gonna give you what the machine desired look is already at.
mhm.
You'll just hire an artist who can navigate this stuff. That's what I'm saying. So you guys are doing way more groundwork trying to work with old code and reskin it. I think that's a lot more difficult to do because that there's not a language for half of those things now. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
I have to revert to caveman PS2, PS3 talk, PS2 talk to get this to work on a
Yeah.
system that
Reverse
no now
engineer
now
this,
feels
port over that, then
everything that you have in this game now is ported at the same level and it was originally showed. No, I don't want that.
Mm.
If anything, I already have the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. I'll just play that, man. If I really want to play Metal Gear Solid. And what's the because to me, you're selling me the same thing with reskins. That I don't think that's a great product.
But what do you think about the theory that people have that Konami is just basically doing this to introduce Metal Gear to a new generation? Who are like for us, obviously we've adjusted to the PS1 versions of games, PS2, PS3. Somebody who likes the design of Snake, who plays Super Smash Brothers but doesn't know this franchise.
So if you want to introduce something to the new generation, you give it that Capcom hand. That's what I'm gonna call it right now. You give
Okay.
it the Capcom hand. Because okay, you got kids that go back and play Sonic, but Sonic's gameplay mechanics translate 100 years from now. Very easy.
Yeah, because the core gameplay hasn't changed.
Because core gameplay doesn't change, right?
Mm.
And it's just you're playing for new arenas, new experiences. Perfect. Something like Froza, driving is just simple. But something like Metal Gear Solid, where physics, your environment, the weapons you're using, the AI, those things make the game significantly different.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So if I'm gonna introduce a new game to a new generation, I'm gonna give it the Capcom hand, the facelift with the mechanics, because this is what Metal Gear Solid wanted to be, and that we get that in five.
Right. Right,
So
right.
now why don't we take the best of five and put it in three? That way we have a complete story, we have a complete mechanics. People can do all the craziness they wanted to do with Metal Gear Solid 5. They can do it in three.
In a story that we know has a complete arc. It wasn't yet
A
left unfinished.
complete arc.
Yeah.
And but I guess that might have been too daunting of a task for the team or how much money Konami wanted to spend. So I think they could have found a way to hire, hey, Kojima, listen, hey, XYZ, some consulting, you don't have to be a part of it, but we'd like to hire you to consult. He probably would have said no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not even worth the
but
email at that
not
point.
even with the email. But
Yeah.
hey,
I mean,
if
to
you
me, I'm
guys
like, and I say this respectfully, of course, like no man is a kingdom unto himself, right? So
no man.
obviously, whoever put the Metal Gear Solid franchise was led under the supervision of Kojima. I don't know the details of it, but I would, if I had to take a guess, I would imagine that when Kojima left, that team did not leave with him, or maybe not the entire team. So, like in
Mhm.
my mind, again, looking at it from the outside looking in, I'm like, why didn't they do what Square Enix did with the Final Fantasy VII remake, where it was a mixture of some of the original team that worked on it and a lot of game developers who were hardcore fans of Final Fantasy VII. So
Yep.
you have that, like, how can we make this in a language that you guys will appreciate, while also knowing that you guys appreciate the original story that we told here. And look at Remake and Rebirth. They're amazing. You know, like, to me, I'm
No.
like, I don't know. I guess I mean that's the way games, the BTS behind games are now. I'm sure maybe at some point we'll get the story, but to me, like when I see things like this, where it's like you kind of like you said, the Capcom hand or the Square
Capcom,
Enix
huh?
hand, where it's like you have the blueprint of what these other companies did to kind of make sure that their legacy games were intact. Just copy their homework. Like you said, it's not like Konami doesn't have the money. You got the money. Just do it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I would have done, man. I would have taken a lot of what Metal Gear Solid 5 had and put this in 3. And the worst, you can't lose with 3 because the story is already done.
Yes, airtight.
It's airtight. If you wanted to do, if you would just have to hire a very competent director. Hey, you know what? I always thought this would have been interesting.
Those are getting harder and
Those are
harder to find these
harder and harder to
days.
find because the industry is not made. But he's just gonna go be a lawyer
Yeah, yeah.
because it's not really worth it in the gaming
Mhm.
industry. So we're gonna get Nintendo 64 storylines now with triple A, triple quadruple A graphics.
Yeah.
Hey man,
It's
hey,
beginning to eat
you guys
itself.
asked for it.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
asked for it.
yeah.
Y'all made it this way.
Yeah. Alright,
So
I just
yeah,
wanted to ask that because 'cause I'm like, every time I see something new promotional for that game, I'm like, "I wonder what Tim and Jory think." Like
I I mean, I'll get it, but I just feel like people are wearing costumes. It just looks like everybody's wearing costumes,
Yeah.
and this the director. It just feels they should have just went all in, man.
It's almost like that. Even though I've never really taken the time to think about like what that or look at what that word means, but it like you can feel it where it's like it's missing that je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Yeah,
It's not.
the feng shui
Yeah,
definitely
it
is
just
missing,
doesn't have that, the razzle to the dazzle, so to speak.
man. Because I'm looking at it, man. The facial expressions are not there. What do you want me to do?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I could say that's gonna disconnect me, man. Why do you think Pixar focuses on facial features? You know,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Nah, I hear you.
yeah, no, no, and then me, yeah, that's my thoughts, man. I'm just like fingers crossed, bro.
Okay. So let's move through some of the other things that were announced. Let's see here. Any interest in Digimon Time Stranger?
I'm happy it exists.
I am too.
I'm happy it exists. Um, I think I'm happy it exists, and I think I'm gonna. It looks like a lot of fun.
I'm still working through Hacker's Memory, which is the sequel to Cyber Sleuth, and Time Stranger, I guess, is the threequel to this
Hmm.
story or setting, I should say. One of the things that I'm a little nervous about
Hmm.
is yes, the graphics look significantly better than the previous two entries, but a lot of the combat mechanics look I mean, it's a new UI, to be fair. A lot of the combat
Mm,
mechanics look fairly similar. And
okay.
for me, I'm like I was telling y'all in the chat where it's like I can't digivolve mid battle. It's a lot of Final Fantasy X active combat systems. Like that's cool, but when you start to see certain things of like what Expedition 33's did, where it's like you're having these kind of like
Mm,
revolutionary aspects in turn-based combat. It's just kind of like I might need a little more gameplay wise, other than we have even more Digimon forms. Now we're adding the armor Digivolution forms. Like this is cool. Happy to see Pegasus Mon and uh Shurimon and all those different like season 1, season 2 like
mm.
goaded forms, but it's still now you attack. Now I attack. Now I hit you with my anime attack. Now you hit me with your it's like
And then I dodge because my stats are higher than yours.
yeah. I didn't really see anything gameplay wise that's just like, ooh, that looks, like new or refreshing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Got you. Got you.
Or even just the fact that the some of the pre-order bonuses of like unlock Agumon and Gabumon's new form. I'm like, I didn't really like those forms. Like, that's not the draw you might
Mm,
think it is for like a longtime Digimon fan. Like, even more humanoid mon was not what I necessarily wanted from these evolution
got
forms.
you. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just kind of curious. I'm like, for me, I'm glad. Yeah, to what you said, I'm glad Digimon exists. I'm glad it still has a space to kind of be out and about in front of people, and
Hmm.
clearly it's doing well enough to kind of warrant these budgets and renewed interest in it. I
Hmm.
think that's the first one in the series that actually has an English dub. So I'm like, okay, they must be making money because all the other
Yeah.
ones were Japanese dub with English subtitles. So I'm like, progress is being made here. I just hope combat wise, there's like some certain things that like start to catch my eye because the game was announced quite a while ago at this point, and I'm like, you just keep showing me mons and character cutscenes, and like that's
Okay.
you know the game needs more than a roster. Let's see what else was announced at the Sony State of Play. Do we have any thoughts about Neo 3?
No, but you know what? It does make me think. Well, yeah, I actually do have some thoughts. It makes me do think about how if ReFantazio played like Expedition, probably would have been more of a played game.
Mm.
And I understand like they're changing those mechanics of the turn base.
Hmm.
So I can see how people might feel like this is something you should have did, Digimon. What were you waiting for? So
Yeah. But that's been the
yeah,
the
that's
the
it.
course of Digimon, right? They where they revolutionized in some ways, they're stuck in their ways in other ways, and that's why
They devolved.
they have a hard time pulling to the front.
Okay.
Like this was a good start, but and you're like, no, that's no, come on.
You're looking like J.K. Simmons right now. Again.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Neo 3? Does it warrant
Oh,
does it warrant
Neo
its
3.
existence? Yeah.
Um, oh man, I got so I still thought we were talking about
Yeah, I was like, "What are your thoughts
Digimon.
on Neo 3?" You're like, "Yeah, so Digimon." I'm like,
Yeah, no, my fault, my fault.
okay."
My fault, bro. Like you should just said like no, Neo, like samurai. Oh, okay, Neo.
Yeah, I was
Like
like, I guess he really had to get his thought off on that one.
um, okay. Didn't play the demo. Don't know if a lot of the problems from Neo 2 to me is better than 3. I'm 1.
As it
Um,
should be.
I heard it should be. I think Neo's combat system is amazing.
Okay.
It's very unique. That's their revolutionary Sekiro, in my opinion.
Okay.
All I think Neo needs is a Ghost of Tsushima scaling touch
In terms of like world
in
building.
terms of world.
Okay.
Because to me, uh, I seen a lot of their games. They don't make the greatest stages.
No. That's
So
always been one of my biggest takeaways in Neo. I'm like, these stages do
that
not.
kills. And if you want to go for a Souls like, the stage are just as much as important,
Mhm.
the area, as it is the actual character and gameplay.
Mhm.
Imagine if Sekiro was just corridors. That game's taking a fat L,
Yeah.
right? But you have verticality. You can go up, you can go down. And I think Neo should have never tried to become a Souls like anything. It should have just played like that, be the evolution of Onimusha, but I can get on a horse.
Yeah,
I can
but
scale a castle.
you've been gaming long enough. You've seen the rise of trendy gaming. So,
No, no. We don't have to be trendy. Yeah, yeah. Definitely seen the rise of trendy gaming.
yeah.
Absolutely. But it just didn't make any sense for you guys to do something like that.
Mhm.
Because now even with Wulong, Fallen Order, like, and now you got Neo 3 coming out. a lot of the stuff from my fighting mechanics from Wulong Fallen Order is great, but I just hate how the gameplay feels at times with the characters. They don't feel like the animations just don't feel rich to me.
I mean,
Like
maybe Neo 3 will be the exception.
I'm hoping I can't play it now, so but besides that, man, I'm hoping it's good. I didn't get. I really wish I had a chance to play it. The demo's out. Did you download it?
I forgot to
You
download it.
forgot? Okay.
Yeah.
So from Neo 2, I just think Neo's missing that je ne sais quoi that everybody else is saying, that
Mm,
everybody else usually says. And to me, it's the level design. It's missing scale. I don't feel a sense of scale. There's not one area to where I'm like, man, did you get to this part yet?
mm.
And if you're gonna go open world, I think you should just be the super natural version of Ghost of Tsushima. I think that way you'll win. But of course they're not gonna put sucker punch money into that game. I don't
They
even think they
should.
should. They should, but because the combat to me is 20 times better than Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm,
Because it's more technical, and then it's good enough for you to get in there, and also complex enough for like now for it to really be a great justifiable versus match.
okay.
Because you have four things you have a great rock paper scissors. Um, you got a great rock paper scissors display of weaponry and tricks
Mm,
and whatnot. Now you're gonna introduce ninjas. Okay, they got a different skill set. That's actually very cool. What can they do now?
mhm.
So those are my thoughts, man. I just hope Neo Threes learns from their mistakes and it's just not uh Neo 2 with more movement. Because I don't think that's gonna help, man. I mean, like it was already bad enough I was loading to area like stages. I'm like,
Mm.
yo, y'all already failed. Already failed. It's nothing seamless.
Yeah. To me, when
Well,
I see things like that get announced, it's like you I would imagine that because we haven't, thankfully, although I do think it's a matter of when, not if, we haven't reached the point where games have to coast off the strength of an IP. So to me, I'm like, if you're making a Neo 3, it's because you wanted to make a Neo 3. Like there's
because you
something
wanted
that you
to.
felt
Yeah.
you like either you wanted to perfect or you didn't get a chance to get right last time. So I'm like, there must be something here why you felt like now we got to see it with 3, other than
Yeah.
IP, because there's plenty of IP that we want to come back. And it's like the publishers were like, no, you can't have that. It's like, oh, all right, well, if you're gonna, like at least if you're gonna give us a long standing game, at least give it the good old try, good old Japanese American try. So hopefully, Neo 3 ends up being something that's like a must play on people's radar.
Yeah. And then
Hmm.
like what's the story? I don't nobody ever comes up to me and says, yo, did you play Neo 3? Nobody.
But I think that goes back to what you said with even with the stage design of like they're almost too focused on making one really good thing at the expense of everything else. Of like when a world's engaging enough, like all of it takes you in, everything. So,
Yeah.
but to be fair, it's a hard thing to get right. Like for me, it's like as much as I wouldn't want to live in Final Fantasy VII's world, to be honest with you, it's at least interesting enough where it feels alive. Where
Oh, you
like
wouldn't want to live there, Final
no,
Fantasy?
no, 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 no.
You go
Midgard
outside and then
Midgard did not even at the time, and then even now did not look like the most appealing of places to start from the bottom and work my
straight
way up.
depression. Oh my
You can't see
goodness.
the sun because there's a giant plate over your home. Oh, you got to be rich enough to see the sun. Oh.
Sounds like good old fashioned capitalism.
Yeah. Can you afford it? No, then I guess you don't need it. Oh, all right. Okay, then look at it from that lens of
Man, just
basic human
bringing,
human desires. But sure, let's
just
go.
breathing in train smoke all
Yeah.
day. My goodness.
Midgard just reminded me of my time living in California. Bro, walk out. Is that smog I smell again?
Please.
Yeah, Yeah, Cali, like unless you live by the beach, you could forget it.
Forget about a natural occurrences, natural waves of life, natural air, natural anything,
Yeah, it's
natural
like you almost want
cycles.
to wipe the smear off the sun from what you're looking up. Like, wait.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Clearly, Warner Brothers has now hit the break glass in case of financial emergency button, and we got a Mortal Kombat Legacy collection announced. The panic button was hit. They saw the sales. Oh, we only did 5 million with MK1 reboot instead of the 11 million with MK11. It's time. Ed,
Right after, right
get
after they
digital
did
clips
that,
on the phone right now.
like, how much did they pay Tobias to be in that commercial?
Bro,
Dog, I'm like,
a lot.
isn't that Noob Saibot?
Yes.
We used to play these games back in the old days of the arcade.
The
Now once
Dudley
I get
Boys.
video games, I'm like, fam,
The
I'm like,
Hardy
bro,
Brothers.
you don't think I see what's going on here, man? You don't think I see what's going on here, man?
Yeah. Ed had to force that smile. That was not a he was not genuinely happy to be there.
You guys are taking Mortal Kombat and turn it into a shell of its own self. That man is losing. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man. Poor Ed.
So what do you think that I mean, granted people have been asking for it. It's not like it's something that no one was asking for. People have asked for it over the years of like it's very hard to get a collection of up to date collection of any of the original MKs, especially from the Sprite era. So
Well, they're gonna.
it's not like there's no demand.
There's no demand. They're gonna have to find a way to give it that Capcom treatment.
I think they will. I mean, rollback netcode, I'm sure, will be involved and things like that. Do you think that this collection will have to include some of the 3D era to have I guess to make all the money? Or do you think what they've announced thus far and maybe like one other surprise will kind of get it done?
I think adding the three. Okay, you want me to be real?
Yeah.
If you add Shaolin monks in there, it's gonna sell.
As like the bonus. I agree.
Yeah, add the 3D era in there.
Because then to me, I guess like in my mind, just because we've seen how these companies work of like money is at the core. It's kind of like you kind of skate by on this collection and you maybe throw in Mortal Kombat 4 as like a bonus, and then you save the Deception, Shaolin Monks, what's it called? What's after this?
Armageddon.
No, I mean Armageddon, yes, too, but Deadly Alliance. You save that all for like a collection 2?
Now, will you be fixing the problems of Deadly Alliance?
Probably not.
Okay.
That's why, like, even with Armageddon, I'm like, yeah, Armageddon will be there, but Armageddon was not the everyone's here. Yeah,
That one hit
yeah,
combo with the one arm.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little too ambitious in that regard.
Even though I like Sub Zero's combos, but they
Sure,
were hilarious.
that's one character out of the
But
40
those are the best
tap.
designed Mortal Kombat characters you'll ever get, man.
It
My
means nothing
goodness.
if I can't play the fight
Classic
game.
Sub Zero, even Deadly Alliance Scorpion, actual ninja.
Mm,
Um, yeah, the 3D era has to come with something being fixed, man. Like, I'm not gonna roll back netcode my way into that. Those combos, man.
nostalgia sells, bro.
Okay, man. If it does, it does. I just think it needs a little bit more. If you're gonna give me the 3D era, you gotta fix something. You gotta
But
go into the
that's why I'm
the
asking. I'm like, what? Where is the happy in
no,
between?
I do see a two-part,
Mm,
part, you know, Sprite era, Mortal Kombat 4 and up. That'll be a good collection. Yeah, I would split that. I mean, as a business person, that makes more sense.
mm.
Now, if you give us everything, how much is this thing gonna cost? 103?
I mean, with the variable pricing market, who knows?
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's best that they do it that way. Yeah, yeah. They can follow Capcom's footsteps. I mean,
Collection
it's
one,
working
collection
out.
two.
It's definitely working out in favor.
It's been
Imagine if
fairly lucrative.
Namco Bandai does hey, you guys want to buy Soul Calibur?
I think they will.
You know? And I think it'll work because Soul Calibur is way more polished than Mortal Kombat 3D era,
Yeah.
you
And
know, so
it's not like the thing with Capcom Fighting Collection, it's not like certain things didn't get patched. Some to some people's like disappointment of like, oh, like, yeah, you
mhm,
patched out that infinite loop, but that infinite loop was legendary. Like you should have just kept it.
yeah.
So I mean it's possible. I just, when I saw it, like that was just my first thought. I'm like, this was not announced because it was, a victory lap, of like of just like Mortal Kombat can't lose. Like this was
Yeah.
we're
That's
panicking.
desperate times.
Yeah.
And then after that defusion, right after they did that, they had to break the case with the full Super Saiyan 4, full Super Saiyan fusion, Vegito.
Yep. I'm like right before Vegito hit Zamasu, just done. Well, no, I can't even say that because that would mean that Warner Brothers was winning and they were not winning. I
Hmm.
don't this-
Yeah. Yeah, everybody was like, Mortal Kombat's doing great. I'm like, no, it's not.
it's I mean, well, it's done. Like that's the other part. Like it's over. The modern Mortal Kombat, it kind of has to literally go back to formula now. Unfortunately, one entry in. So okay, yeah, Legacy Collection. I'm trying to see from my notes, any thoughts or interest in Hot Shot Golf coming back?
Uh, I'm not gonna play it.
I kind of felt the same way too. I mean, I never played the original. I'm glad that Sony's paying more attention to some of their like lesser known legacy acts. It's just
Hmm.
again, it's one of those things where I'm like, you started with Hot Shot Golf, okay. Would have thought Ape Escape might have been the wave, given its inclusion in Astrobot, given its inclusion in Metal Gear Solid, but I guess.
Listen, they're not us, man. They're not us.
Yeah, I just when it comes to Hot Shot Golf, I'm just like it's good for the audience it's good for, right? With things like that. That's how I look at certain announcements where I'm like, good for whoever's excited about this.
Hmm.
No like shade, no hate,
Yeah,
no
no
just
shade.
like
I mean, I'm not interested in like that era is over unless NBA Street come back or something.
yeah,
I'm not playing.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going out of my way to play sports simulator.
Yeah, but even because like Hot Shots Golf obviously is like it's a I don't know like a Mario Party esque where it's not quite like it's not PGA Tour 2025 type game, but it's just like I mean it's still golf. Say
Yeah,
like no shade to golf, but like that's not quite the man. I just want to
the
see myself
sports
as
the s-
Tiger Woods.
the sports to get
Like,
me going, man. Well, yeah, I
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so that's more of the quieter things. I guess the last thing before we talk about the other or the other two big elephants in the room, what do you think about Thief becoming a VR franchise or getting a VR installment? I should say,
Thief,
yeah, Thief.
that works. That's a great idea, man.
I
Why
think so
not?
too.
It's a great game. I think the scenarios are so and the situations are so entertaining that doing it in first person will would be just as equally as effective, especially in a VR format.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To me,
Um,
I feel like with these type of things, I'm like, it's perfect for that, right? I think I'm like, this is whoever thought about this is it's a good idea. Even with the whole Batman game, like that's a good approach to VR. It's just for
that
me,
definitely
like,
is a good approach to
yeah,
VR.
I guess like because I don't really deal with motion sickness,
Hmm.
while I understand the predicament for people who have it, like I would hate to be a person who's motion sick and can't enjoy it. It's 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 just always like a conflict for me because I'm like, this is a really good idea and it should do well. But I also am somebody who is not afflicted by motion sickness. So
Hmm.
it's like I could play something like this and be fine, and have a good time and be like, yeah, now I'm playing Thief and first person in a way that makes sense. But I know that like it probably won't sell like a lot of these other VR games won't sell because there's a lot of people that get motion sick. And the ones that don't, there's also that other group of people that's like, well, I'm not sitting with a headset on my head for more than 2 hours. Like it's that's the other tricky part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just to me, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna talk about another VR game later. Like I think VR has its space. I do think still a little bit too pricey for the consumer. Like it's a hard entry point. and I just think it's a little bit too cumbersome right now. Like again, while I don't mind, that headset does get pretty hot. Like that's the other
Oh, it
part.
does? Dang.
Most of
Wow.
them, like
I
I have an
think
Oculus, and it gets a little warm after a little
okay,
while.
wow.
Yeah,
I think they do need to have integrative spaces.
what you mean?
It needs like if you can get your headsets to sync, you're in the money.
Sync as far as
Sync as far as visuals. Like we as soon as we put it here, it's like we're in the matrix.
I mean, it's getting there.
Yeah. So I mean that's what has to happen for it to have its value. It's that
Yeah,
one thing, it's that one connection.
yeah. I think enhancing that, making it more comfortable for like long term, and not for nothing, they got to get rid of the controllers. It has to be. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it has to be hands free to some degree. Like maybe a hand. Like I know, like with like the Oculus, there's like a feature you can use where it kind of reads your hand, and it's not bad. It clearly like it has a ways to go, and it will probably get there. But to me, I'm like, it's just a lot of like I'm putting this headset on. Yes, it has a feature that lets me see in the room around me still with the headset on, which is really really cool. But it's that it has to be plugged in because the battery life isn't the greatest, and I have hand controllers. It's
Well,
like
I
that's
I think the
just
Apple Vision Pro is what got a lot of people on that as of the Zuckerberg was throwing shade.
it's like a what?
Zuckerberg was throwing shade at the
Oh, I'm
Vision
sure.
Pro because the Vision Pro is a Vision Pro, is a superhero, like Tony Stark edition. Literally, your Iron Man.
Yeah,
I
for an
mean,
Iron Man cost.
for an
Like,
Iron Man cost, but it's a computer, so if you look at it as a device you place on your head, and oh my, it's outrageous. But once you realize it's a computer dedicated to visual, then it's a completely different justifiable price point because of what you can do with it.
oh no, for sure. You can sit
You
there
know?
and watch a 100 inch screen Netflix show on there. Like I get it. It's just the accessibility.
No, oh,
Do I want to
absolutely,
pay
yeah.
$1,000 to sit there with my headset on watching, things in 4D? Like, no.
Dimensional D,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Like
but
that's yeah.
okay, yeah, I think that's just what has to happen with those things. But yeah, wasn't there a Deadpool game that was also?
Yeah, Deadpool was announced, I think, at Summer Games Fest. That's why I didn't bring it up right now. We're
Okay,
still going
okay,
through Sony
okay.
State to play.
Got you.
Um, and then the two big things that were announced, or the biggest things that were announced, we got the first look at 007, uh, First Light, the reboot in
Yeah.
universe. What are you thinking about uh Tom Cruise Light as the new James Bond
Um, that's
made by
not the
the
official. That's just game James Bond, right?
yeah game James Bond?
Okay. Okay. So, couple of things, man. I would have probably based it off of actor, but now thinking about that, wait. So is he gonna actually be James Bond? Okay. So
Yeah.
I can see why. I wasn't really. Man, he felt like
He felt
he
like
felt he felt like I don't know, man. Like I felt like I was watching Kingsman.
that's not a bad thing.
Kingman is King. It's not a bad thing. It's just Kingsman's is not James Bond.
But
They're not.
see the thing I think that gets a little bit tricky is because there's been so many eras of James Bond, even eras that existed before we were alive. It's like, what is James Bond?
It went on. He just doesn't have that because he doesn't have. He's an agent, but he just doesn't have that suaveness to him that you would expect from James. Like and in the world
This is a Tomb Raider
didn't have
reboot
that.
version, so you can't
Oh,
expect it
okay.
still.
Well, if it's a reboot, it just feels like Gen Z Bond.
I mean, that's probably what they're going for.
Okay, so yeah, Kingsman.
Yeah, to me, I think the thing with this, it's tricky. Like,
And
I know. What?
I'll say this, like they can't aim to be like classic James. Remember GoldenEye? It's not gonna happen.
But that's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm like, I
Yeah,
think for as good as the Daniel Craig run was, and it was good, arguably really, really great. There's something about the Pierce Brosnan era. I know it's one of it, like in the scheme
that's
of things, is one of the
that's what.
worst eras of
Yeah,
James Bond. But when you're like raised on it, it's like I can realize that everything post Goldeneye in the Pierce Brosnan era is pretty bad. But this is what I grew up watching. So like that
it's
just
called the worst James Bond. Really?
yeah, bro.
I watched them and they're not bad, bro.
They get a little fantastical. It's the Paris Brosnan era, you could argue, was what kicked off Austin Powers, what kicks off Archer, because it crossed that line of like he's outrunning this avalanche slash earthquake on a jet ski. Okay. And then he's gonna parasail on a tidal wave. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Vin Diesel did
He did do it. And
it.
where is the Triple X franchise now?
No, no, Triple X was BMX,
Yeah.
BMX Bond, bro. Like he was driving a motorcycle on the ocean current. Like y'all, come on, man.
He was.
We like
Him and Donnie Yen just
Don named Alexander Cage, y'all. Like, oh boy, this should have just been an Xbox 360 game.
he
Greatest
skateboarded down
hits.
the mountainside. I'm like, all right.
I live for this. I'll never forget that, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see, but that was the 90s, man. I think this will translate great into a game. I think they should have just did that. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I think they should have went for Uncharted with the mechanics of uh you know what? We'll see, man. I think they should have gone with a very heavily animation oriented video game, man. Like they should have went for an Uncharted mix with the stealthiness, the camouflage that the Hitman games franchise has.
It's being made by the Hitman developers.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna see a lot of
Oh,
that.
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
You know, I think they should do well enough to have that integrated, man. Have scenarios to where like certain things are like mini games. Because I mean, when you look at Bond, there's situations where it almost is a mini game.
Mm.
And that's the only thing I could say. Because with the Bond franchise, you'll just have to have incredible set pieces people want to play over and
Yeah.
over and over again. Like that's why I used Uncharted. Uncharted is prime TNT TV show
Mhm.
that we watch every Thursday. Oh,
Mhm.
what? Oh, this is on? I'm watching it. Prime TNT writing, Prime FX writing, you know. So I think they really need incredible set pieces, locations. The characters got to be unforgettable. The scenarios, the stakes. You can't just Bond has to play like a simulator, but with that you can do more, and that is actually really concerned about how the movement of the game is and the presentation of everything.
Yeah.
Those are one of the games where your graphics needs to matter. And just
Yeah.
for me,
No,
you
no,
know.
I think you're right. I do think this game, at least at an initial glance, definitely screams like it has more of a budget than the Hitman games do. And I say that
Mhm.
respectfully. I'm like the Hitman games, like they're good, but you know what it is. Like you could tell where the budget limitations are in a Hitman game. I feel like with Bond, it's like clearly like Amazon is like, here, take what you need to like get this off the ground. Um,
I would have took inspiration for some of the films, man, as a style.
mm,
I think that's important, man. I would have even, I would have even, I would have even gone so far as to kind of date some of the stuff, man. Maybe have a certain time period.
no.
Not like 1960s, maybe classic Bond era. I don't know. That's just me, and I would have just made the game raw, and then we could have gone into different eras later. I don't know. That's how I would have did it.
The only reason why I
But
say no is because, like, especially once we get into like the Xbox showcase, one of the things, at least for me, again, just speaking for myself, one of the things I'm starting to realize that I'm starting to have is period piece fatigue in games. I'm tired of every game sounding like old ye English, 1860s England, like like the
mm,
pre-colonization era of whatever. I'm like, I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it.
I'm not gonna get enough of Game of Thrones language. I love it. But I do hate
I'm over it.
the. I don't know. I'm fine.
There's no other dialect that resonates with the people. That's it. Just
Wait, I ain't really.
just British. That's it. Nothing
No,
else.
no, no. I ain't really looking at it like that though. So for me, I'm not like I don't get fatigued because I don't know certain people are doing it. I'm like, oh, you again? Nah. I mean, with certain storylines and certain I can see the argument for Resident Evil, but we're the minority, and
I'm
we
just
don't.
because but
Yeah,
even like
but
for
we'll get to
example,
that. We'll get
like
to that.
yeah, but I'm just saying like even like for example, like using Red Dead Redemption, I'm like the cowboy thing was fine for me.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
That's
okay.
but that's what I'm saying.
I
I'm like,
get you. I
there's
get you.
different eras you can pull from
So you
that
tired of the
aren't.
Victorian era,
Yeah, stop using
steampunk era?
Victorian England over and over and over and over again. Like, there's other
Yeah.
places.
But no, people love their Van Helsing, man. They're
I
Romania.
I
You feel me?
understand. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not saying it needs to go away. I'm just saying, like, I think that's the when every other game is that you're just like,
Okay, so I mean, we got through Arcane.
yeah,
That was inspired by that era.
yeah, enough now,
Yeah. No,
enough now.
hey, okay, I get you.
Let's take a break.
The Clockwork game does look interesting, man. But
It does,
I'm
but
actually not mad at it.
enough now.
But people love that quirkiness, man. People dress like that today, and they feel like they're doing great. You feel me? They feel like they're killing it. They got the little leather bracelet right here with the vest on and the tie.
Four
They
layers
still
of
dress like
clothing,
that.
just
4 layers of clothing, with the jeans and the boots. They still
yeah.
dress like that, man.
No, I get again. I'm not saying it needs to go
Hair
away.
slick, man.
I'm not saying it's, I'm not saying the stranglehold it has on the industry
Got
right
the
now.
curved cologne on the neck. You feel me?
Like, okay, perfect example leading into the big announcement of State of Play. I love, love, love that this Marvel fighter was announced with a Japanese dub. Love it. I love hearing it's Spider-Man. Like I love it, bro. I loved it. That
Mm.
like obviously the surprise of the announcement, the unexpectedness of like it's the Marvel tag, but without the Capcom. Here's a unique art style. Here's fire character designs, especially for Iron Man. Like like and it's like, and there will obviously be
Tony Stark.
yeah, like there will obviously be an English dub, but the fact it was introduced as a Japanese dub, I'm like,
Oh,
this
we're
is
not
what I
playing
want
it
to
in
see.
English.
Oh,
We're not playing
I'm
it
not
in
playing English either.
never,
Yeah, yeah.
never. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's what I mean. I'm like that. There's something to be said of like, and maybe it's just me dating myself, right? Like maybe it's like because of the era I grew up in. But I remember playing the Marvel vs. Capcom or the Street Fighter S games on PlayStation with the booklet, and you're looking up the names of these moves, and they're saying the names of these moves. I'm just like the Tatsumaki Sen Pakuyaku?
Senpuke.
Because then you see the dialogue on the screen when you went with the super, and it's like, no, that's really what they said. That's really what they said. It is a Shoryuken. Yes, that you heard it. You heard me correctly. A Kokoken. Yes. Like to me, I'm like, there's something because you're not only introducing a game from a different culture, you're sneaking in bits of that culture into you know, for it to be consumed by somebody else. So like to me, it's like even with Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, I'm like, this feels like which I was saying in the group chat, I'm like, I know you was doing backflips. It's like this feels like the Marvel anime era. This feels like hearing Captain America say "Charging Star." like that's what it just felt like. But what were your thoughts after getting to see the trailer and the rollout and
Man, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Between that and Marvel Rivals, I really like Marvel Rivals character design.
mm,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Marvel Rivals character designs, their interpretations,
mhm.
bro. This one, of course, that beautiful, rich, luscious anime liveliness, that colorful, not overpowering, but just the right color palette.
Saturation
That
turned up just
watercolor
right.
filled with the saturation turned up just a little, just down a little bit, and then up a little bit at certain things. Maybe
Mhm,
the characters pop out more than the background.
mhm,
That nice Japanese aesthetic, as approach to technology and technological things.
mhm.
Um, man, it was just like, yo, is Doom kind of fights like he does in.
Oh, it borrows a little inspiration for sure.
And I was like, hey, this is I can't wait to see War Machine if he's gonna even be in the game. If they're gonna even do that. But oh man, I felt like I was looking at one, no, not one, but Murata
Mhm.
draw. It looked like he drew Storm.
Yeah,
When I saw
yeah,
I said, yo, Storm.
yeah.
It's like, yo, this is.
Because like Marvel Rivals did a good storm, but this game did a great storm.
Yeah,
Like,
it did, it did, it
the
did.
fan art was up within 24 hours of the trailer dropping. Just frame by frame recreation.
Man, I'm hoping to see a lot of characters, since now this is Marvel for you have to have a lot of characters.
It's 4 versus 4. Yeah,
Four
there's
versus four, so
I can't imagine
um
a starting roster under 20 characters. There's
I'm
no way.
just I'm just like, okay, I'm thinking about, man, did they like so what was going on when they got the call? Eh,
Um, I mean, we
Boy,
made
they looked at the Guilty Gear table. Okay, let's wrap it
no, I
up.
think we made jokes about it in the chat. I think because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Dragon Ball Fighters came out the same year, and they're looking at like, I mean, like I know it's Goku, but it's
No, no, they don't understand.
it's Ryu and Iron Man at
They
during
don't un-
peak Endgame. It's like
they don't understand.
so they look over
You
the table and like, wait, who made that Arc System? Who? Oh, oh, okay. Marvel will remember that.
like listen. Dragon Ball Z is big. Marvel is big. Can I say who's bigger? I don't know.
It'd be a toss up for sure.
It'll definitely be a toss up.
With the whole arc system works, I feel like they just dropped Guilty Gear. And I understood Capcom sub, but like, with Dragon Ball Z, is Dragon Ball Z just as big as Marvel? Because you have less characters in the Dragon Ball Z universe than you do with the entirety of Marvel. And
I
more of a
mean,
richer history.
most IPs have less characters in the entirety of Marvel. They have like 10 different Spider-Man that we know of. Like,
And so to me, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. Dragon Ball Z is just as popular. We in America might like Goku more than Superman. I know I did when I was a kid.
yeah, but the reason why I drew that comparison is it. I think it was the when, right? So it's not to say that Dragon Ball is not. I don't think Marvel underestimates how popular Dragon Ball is. I think it's the fact that, like you said, you're looking over at that table and you're like, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite dropped during the Infinity War Endgame, where you could argue the MCU was at its peak. Marvel was being shown in more screens across the world than it probably ever has in
Yeah.
existence. And there's still more people at the Dragon Ball Fighters table.
Okay, so yes. That game looked terrible. One.
I know.
Two, the characters. How many gunslingers did we need?
How-
How do you drop it with no Wolverine? How do you
Right.
drop it with no Storm? How
Yeah.
how do you drop it with no new characters, right? Okay, Thor being there, yes. Then that story that you gave us, what was that? What was that? Everybody looked terrible. You had Ninja Turtle Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the character designs was terrible. Y'all should have kept it with the shell shading. um, and
Bruh.
then you give us characters that how many people need a gun? How many people from the Capcom side? How many people from the Marvel side are just gunslingers?
Hmm.
Nobody cares about Black Widow. I mean, you could put her later. For me, she has to be there. Okay, but she wasn't interesting. And in the way she looked, you didn't have to put the one from the movies. Nobody's gonna no. Put the ones from the comic book. They don't have to be a skin for skin copy. I don't want to play movie version of Captain America.
I feel like you can sell a skin of the movie
You could
version,
sell a skin
but that
later,
shouldn't be the
but
default. Yeah.
that shouldn't be the default.
I,
Because a lot of the people that play Marvel vs. Capcom are not into the movies.
so that was what I was gonna say. I think like even going back to play Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I would argue, or an argument could be made, let me say, that Capcom, and I can only go off 3 and Infinite, still have not quite figured out how to do Marvel characters in 3D models. Like if you look at, for example, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's like Spider-Man looks pretty good, Iron Fist looks pretty good, Phoenix pretty good, Hulk looks wonky, Hulk looks off, and then you put MODOK in the game. What? And then of course, like I said, everything in Infinite. Like I think they were having, not to say that they couldn't figure it out, but it just seemed to me like it didn't help that on top of the graphics not looking good, it's like you're not quite making these Marvel characters look appealing. These are not as good as the sprites that are burned into my brain of here's one for JJ. Like I'm not getting any of that energy with these character
None of
models.
that energy. None of
Yeah.
that energy. None of that swap. But then that was Ono running it, man. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's true. More Blanca, more Blanca, more Blanca. Yeah, so I think when Marvel saw that, it was just like, hey, yeah, before we leave, get those guys' numbers. I just want to sit down with them, kind of pick their brains a little bit.
And then here we go, man. Now we got a banger on our hands here, man. And then I'm just like, man, so Microsoft, they funded their own fighting game. What are you gonna do about this? Invincible.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yeah. I guess my questions for this, before we start moving to the other showcases, is since it's being made by Arxis, do you think, because obviously everyone's very, very hyped, right? Can this game possibly fail?
Yes, we can.
In what way?
I would say roster.
They're not going to fumble the roster.
Hmm?
They're not going to fumble the roster.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
you know what? I take that back. They're not going to fumble the roster count. Roster choices, I don't know.
you don't think they're gonna fall from the roster count? I think
No,
they are.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Think they are, man.
Don't use Guilty Gear as a blueprint. I think
Okay.
I'll double check. I think Fighters launched with like 22 characters, somewhere in that ballpark,
But that's a 4v4 fighting game now.
which
So
means it
it's
has
like
to have at least 20. At least 20.
at least 20, bro.
I'd say
Yeah.
25 as a starting roster would be kind of my guess.
30.
30 would be music to my ears.
30.
But
Because Tekken
you
dropped
can't
30.
do less than 25.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at everybody. Okay, so I I guess it's okay for other fighting games to exist, but that Invincible game is not going to take flight at all.
No, before we even get to that, can we just say rest in peace to Hunter x Hunter and then Impact?
Oh, absolutely. And who they're making the game too, right?
Who's making the game too?
Arc System Works.
They're not making that game.
Who's making that game?
It's the team that made the Clash of Ninja series on GameCube and Wii. Tomy, I believe, is who's making it. Let me double check for someone corrects me in the comments.
I'm looking at you right now, viewer. Your game's dead. Yeah, it's dead.
I mean, those are technically sound fighting games, though.
So is Off the Grid. Yeah.
Bushy Road is technically their name.
So was Power Rangers Get Off the Grid. Where's that game now?
I mean, can we be honest about Battle for the Grid?
Yeah,
It looked like a poor man's Mugen with an official license.
Hey, look, and this nin fighting game don't.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not, because you were saying like the Invincible game. I'm like, no, the Invincible game, for as rough as it might be, I think in terms of the tag fighting genre that we're now starting to see, I think Nin Impact is like below that.
It is
Of
below
like
there,
it's
but
over for that game.
no,
Them not doing it, Hunter x Hunter versus Yu Yu Hakusho, that would have been the only way that game would have had like, no, I want to see this through. It being only Hunter x Hunter, I'm like, you're done. But yeah,
I just think certain games, man, I respect your bravery, but you're dead. What are you doing?
Yeah,
you're dead. You're dead. You lost. Like that TKOX game.
Oh, 2XKO.
2XKO.
Good idea.
Just two?
But two at the same time. Good idea. Interesting, right? We've seen Maximilian do talk about it all the time. Fighting games the formula has gotten stale. Of like the 3v3 tag, the 1v1, like it's we've had that since we were literally kids. We need something fresh, something risky. 2XKO is risky. It is fresh. I just don't know if barring from the Arcane universe gets it done, in my opinion. Like, I don't know if that's what takes us over the hill, but I'm not gonna knock that game because they're trying something different.
Like Arcane has interesting characters for theater.
Yeah,
like, they have
action
characters
adventure,
adventure design for theater, but
RPG even, but
for
a
fighting.
fighter.
And that's the thing. You should always try to make your games look good for fight. Your characters look as good as a fighting game character.
Yeah,
because
2XKO looks good. It looks good. It looks good.
I like Arcane. Am I in love with the Arcane aesthetics? Do I wake up and say, yo, I want to imitate Arcane's look?
No,
I don't.
I don't need Jinx to be the template of like the next 4 generations of slightly off Harley Quinn characters. It's fine.
I don't. With a big gun, and she's crazy.
Yeah,
because of trauma.
Yeah,
like you feel me?
Harley Quinn.
She's gonna. No, I don't need that.
I feel like with the Marvel game, it's one of those things where the story could maybe affect it if it's bad, because it's obviously its own universe. Like, it's not like borrowing. It's not like we're seeing like a anime take on a English Marvel storyline. It's gonna be its own universe, probably its own continuity and things like that. So I'm like, I could see if it's written badly how that could go left, but I'm like, based off of what we've seen so far in a reveal trailer, I'm like, I just don't see any cracks in the armor out the gate. Like,
no,
you chose the right developer, you chose the right reveal characters, like.
Yeah, I here's what I think. If they're smart, I would take what they were trying to do with the online Avengers Universe movie game with the 4 characters made by Insomniac or whoever, Square Enix,
Crystal Dynamics.
Take that, and that story would work in this game, fighting game, and just change it up, make it interesting. Take that, do what they were trying to do with that one, without MODOK being the villain, like,
and
just
the Avengers
change it up.
being the bad guys and the time skip and.
Oh no, take that part out.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I'm on board with that, bro.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, no more
can't
time
co-sign.
skips.
Can't
no
co-sign
more time
that
skips. All right then. Just I don't know what the story's gonna be about.
Do we?
I don't know if there's gonna.
Do we wince at all if they continue to try to force Kamala Khan down our throats again?
Like I was like, yo, get her off the screen.
The thing is, I don't dislike the character.
I don't dislike the character, but get the fries in the bag.
Yeah.
The fries in the bag, man. Here's a Happy Meal and a toy for your troubles. Get out of here. Yeah, get out of here. You
I think
picked
maybe
that over
she.
Mr. Fantastic, and you guys got a movie coming out?
That's what so here's my thing. I do realize the changing of the guard, so to speak, right? Of like every generation needs theirs. So I'm like, I get it that Kamala Khan was not made for you and I, like our generation and mine. But her power set, at least comic wise, is so by the numbers that I cannot bring myself to care. Like she can be there, right? But it's just like you said, there's Mr. Fantastic. Apparently, on the DC side of things, Plastic Man is a problem. So it's like you have these characters where it's like
Yeah,
I've
Plastic Man
seen better
is a great
versions of this power set, way better.
Madame Rouge from Teen Titans.
Yeah, so like I mean, obviously the reveal trailer showed Captain America and Iron Man facing off. I think that was again reveal trailer wise. I don't know what you could have done any better.
I like that Civil War.
I don't know what you could have done any better. Like, I think if the roster count's good, if the story is decent, I don't see the story being bad, but if the story is decent, it'll be fine. I think the roster choices obviously will play a part, but I think because I was gonna say because the aesthetic is so unique, I almost don't care who you put in the game. Yeah, show me your version of Daredevil. Like put him in the game. Why not?
Man,
why not?
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like
we already know we're gonna get Muscle Mommy She-Hulk.
Oh, for sure.
We gonna get that oh man, that's gonna be good, man.
Show me your version of Luke Cage.
Yeah, man.
Show me your version of Blade.
I'm excited. I want to see how Blade is. Please don't make him bald. Please don't make bald Blade.
I don't think they'll make him bald.
That's not Blade, man.
I don't think they'll make him bald.
Marvel
Rivals is giving him a costume where he has his hair is braided. They're not going with the bald look.
He look gangster though.
Yeah, they're not going with the bald look for Blade, bro.
I want to see Wolverine, man. I know that's and Cyclops. I hope they're there, man.
They're gonna be there.
I want to see.
This is like Marvel's unofficial. We're just growing as two different people to Capcom. So they gotta do. They gotta redo the characters Capcom did, and like it's just better over here.
Like, yo, man, you know what's gonna happen when they put Blade in there? Yeah, we got Blade, Capcom. Y'all took too long, y'all. Yeah,
right. We don't need Dante. We have Dante right here.
I'm a sellout. Yeah, I'm a sellout. Yeah, classic Punisher, anime version of the Punisher.
I don't know. Punisher will be in this game.
He might not. I think he will.
Because the thing is with fighters like this, the issue you run into is zoning. If his whole moveset revolves around guns, I have to rush it. I have to rush him down pretty much. Like that was one of the things with Injustice 2. Like if everyone can fire lasers across the screen, then it's just not interesting.
They could switch him up. This anime version of the Punisher's daggers only. Rarely uses his gun. Or maybe he can be a little bit of Vincent. You know what I'm saying?
Or like his guns are left to like his supers or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I don't. To be honest with you, there's no bad answer. It'll be weird if you just show people from Weapon X. Like if if Domino shows up, that'll be weird. So
I don't think we'll get that obscure.
That's great DLC.
Mm.
But as far as like main continuity, Iron Man was a great choice. We got to see Hulk. We got to see.
But which Hulk is the question? That's
where it gets a little tricky. We're gonna get She-Hulk.
Yeah,
I think so.
You're not gonna get Amadeus Cho, Hulk.
I'll say that, boy.
I'm just saying. I'm like we
definitely gonna get Iron Fist.
Iron Fist or Shang-Chi.
Touche.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
This is good stuff.
yeah.
This guys, we're doing a little roster hopes and who we hope to see on the roster at the same
Yeah.
time. Okay.
Because you got the way
We're gonna get
Hawkeye.
Hawk. Yeah.
So here's my thing. This is just my big conspiracy brain. I could be completely wrong, loud and wrong. But I think Marvel is allowing Marvel Rivals to throw in characters that fit better for that combat style. So, like, while I do think Hawkeye could obviously work using Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you already have a Hawkeye over there. You already have an Iron Fist over there. You already have Moon Knight over there. You know, like, I don't really need to see Arc-Sys version of them quite yet. There's a couple of crossovers, right? I'm like, I expect the
Panther?
Fantastic Four. You
You
know,
expect
like,
Panther?
yes.
Okay.
You know, like I expect there's gonna be some spillover for sure. But I think in terms of like, you know, we joked about it before Marvel Rivals dropped. Iron Fist was up the last person we expect to be a problem Marvel Rivals, and he was a menace until they patched him and nerfed him. So I think like that, like they already have like they're building that audience for that character over there in a way where it's like you can kind of get away with doing something else because it's not like the character's not in anything.
Okay. So okay, Shang-Chi. Okay, I'll take that. That's actually not bad. Okay. So if we go off of that, then I wouldn't expect to see War Machine.
I wouldn't necessarily expect to see him. I would like to see him, but I wouldn't necessarily expect to see him.
Okay, so we're not gonna get War Machine. We're not gonna get Omega Red.
No.
We're probably gonna get Deathpool.
Yeah.
Um
I could see if they want to switch it up because I guess it's a similar esque.
Lady Deathpool.
No. I was gonna say like instead of giving us Cable, they might give us Bishop.
I would like that, but I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's hard. It's a hard like.
Because if Arc System likes Cable,
Then Cable's gonna be in the game.
then Cable's gonna be in the game.
Yeah. I would want to see Nightcrawler. What you mean?
He has no presence.
What are you talking about? X-Men 97.
Yeah, but
That sequence.
no, that's for us though. Because we've seen X2. You feel me? So
Right. Because it works.
it works, but I just don't see them doing it. I feel like Dormammu might make another return before Nightcrawler.
That was random.
That's no, but I know.
The
But
only reason why they pulled it off because they snapped with that design. But that was so. I'm like Dormammu. This is so random.
how is this an Iron Man
Yeah.
film? What are we do? Like you fighting dimensional demons with technology? Don't get out of here with this, man. We're gonna get. I think we're gonna get. Beast could probably make it in this game.
Not if you have Wolverine and Black Panther. These characters can do the cooler versions of what you can do. In fact, you're more limited than they are by comparison.
Okay.
Sorry, Beast.
Magneto for sure, dog. Magneto definitely gonna be here, dog. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
Magneto, yeah.
1000%.
Jean Grey.
We could even get Charles Xavier, not for nothing. Now that they had that comic where like he was able to essentially correct his wheelchair thing where he has that big old X helmet on. They could put that in the game. I mean, it'd be kind of a stretch. Like I'm not saying like put all the X-Men in there, but I'm like, it's just I think where the excitement lands, like the possibilities are almost truly endless. Of like they could do
Yeah. I mean, you put Doom in there, you got to put the Fantastic Four.
1000%. I did like what Capcom did when they did the whole Super Scroll where he had all the powers. I'm like, that was a smart way to kind of get around not adding 4 extra slots.
Yeah.
I think now that Marvel has control over the IP again, it's like, no, now we're gonna like we're putting the Fantastic Four in everything.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm actually interested in seeing who's going to be in this game. I liked what they did with Daredevil. So I mean, I think they were paying attention to Infinite. They liked some of the stuff they saw in Infinite. I think Captain Marvel is going to be in here. I think so. I know, but I think so, man. Thor definitely got to come in this one. You got to put Thor in this game.
Of course.
Yeah, you got to put Thor in this game. Moon Knight could make it.
He could make it.
Moon
I
Knight could
don't
make it.
necessarily need him in there, but he could
I
make it.
don't need him, but he could
Yeah.
make it. You almost have to put Psylocke.
Again, Marvel Rivals is doing the heavy lifting. She's a problem over there. They had to nerf her again.
But she was a problem in
No, I know. I'm just saying, like I think, like I said, like in terms of the
is
Marvel.
Luke Cage in Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
He's not. That's why I said they should put Luke Cage in this game.
We'll see, man.
It'll be tricky because at that point it's like, how many grappler characters do you need? That's the other part.
Characters do you need?
Well, they snap a storm, so you could tell the respect is there.
We gave you everything you needed. That's it.
Nah.
Yeah. I'm not taking it, but I feel like that's the logic. That's the logic, man. Right?
Nah.
Why can't we have Master Raven and Raven in the game? Excuse me.
But see, the difference. The difference with that though is that we're talking about Japanese helmed fighting games versus an American company reaching out to a Japanese developer.
Okay.
You are going to put these characters in this game.
Okay.
This will not be Super Blonde Fighter Tag Fighter. Not with our IP.
Okay. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Maybe Miles Morales. I don't know. Venom first.
Yeah.
Venom
Before we start getting into the Spider-Man let's
Venom first.
Okay. I mean, we still got 2 more whole showcases to get through. So
yeah, we do. But so far, I love it, man. I wouldn't have mind them combining both American and their style, but hey, again, I like it. Because to me, regardless if you go for the American style, it's still Japanese.
It is, but I think it does a good job of separating itself, where like you said about Marvel Rivals has such a distinct art style that you immediately know when you see it. Okay. Like, that's Marvel Rivals design. And I think that's if I had to guess, I think that's what they're going with Tokon. It's like, yeah, this is a Marvel Tokon design. Like, this is what I already know this is Marvel Tokon's Black Panther just by taking a glance.
Got you.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Moving on to the big kahuna, the one that was, the combination of all things in terms of showcases. Summer Games Fest. Now, despite what the internet might tell you, Summer Games Fest does more numbers every year. Despite all the crying and moaning and whining, more and more people tune in every single year. So the viewership is still there. The demand for it is still there. I'll say for me, I think overall this, and I said this because I try to do a reaction of it, like a stream of it. I think with this Summer Games Fest, we're starting to feel the effects of all the big publishers holding their best cards close to their chest. So like, it doesn't hit the same because 2 days prior we were all talking about Marvel's Tokon, right? So there's nothing like that at Summer Games Fest. Xbox is obviously going to hold whatever they're holding till Sunday. Nintendo's doing whatever Nintendo does. So it's almost like it's not fair to some degree to Geoff of like, what do you want him to do? He has to kind of like, like I said in the chat, I'm like, he has to like DJ Khaled the show of like, I'm gonna ask Drake for the feature. I'm gonna ask Kendrick for the feature, but I know they're holding the summer banger on their album. So like, to me, I'm like, I guess this wasn't the most exciting Summer Games Fest by any stretch, but I'm like, I can't knock it for him not having access to certain things. But what do you think about how it rolled out?
I mean, shout outs to Jeff Keighley, man. I think I have a lot of respect for him. Despite people complaining, like, listen, he's a business person that understands the value of games. He understands the ins and outs, and he's doing what he can to make something not die. Kudos to him for taking it upon himself and being the guy that people actually have a respect for. And like, yo, you know what, man? We can't just let this gaming genre die. I love this. I love the community. I love the people. I love the business of it. Or
Mhm.
some aspects of the business of it. And you know, like how many people do you know would have sided with Kojima against the
Right.
corporation? You
Yeah.
know, and to this day, and that came from the heart. So,
Now, granted, I do still think he's a bit of a Kojima fanboy, but
which is fine.
right. If I was hosting a show,
Would you not want a
exactly.
man
I
to
was
not
gonna
like
no,
anything?
no, no. I was gonna say, I'm like, you think I would have my summer's game fest would have Tetsuya Nomura walk out and say it's coming and leave, and I'm like,
Yeah, look at
magnificent.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you. No, but I mean, I'd rather that, right? I'd rather Seto Kaiba, but then nothing.
Yeah.
You know, then some person who's just here for the check.
Yeah.
You
No, for
know,
sure.
so
I
I rather
a
that,
little
man.
fanboyism. It does me. Did Kojima need that segment to show us a cutscene? Absolutely not. But it comes with the territory. I'm like, Geoff is a huge Kojima fan. It's fine.
And I'd rather see that spark of life. Oh my gosh, Kojima, that's such a great game. What are you planning on doing? I mean, look at him. You know, even the reveal that he gave us, man, that was dope. You know, the reveals that he was giving us, man, I definitely appreciated that.
Mm.
So I think I have nothing because I remember Jeff Keighley when I was watching G4 TV, man. When
Mhm.
I guess he was an intern at the time, to see him grow into the person he is, and to get some of that last remnant of what E3 used to be, and for him to take it upon himself and his team to like not give up, to give spotlight to Game Informer guys, and to like not let it all just tank and go down south
He gives it to you twice a year.
twice a year. So like, what are you complaining about? You get Summer's Game Fest, and then you get the Video Game Awards, which more people are watching. More crazier stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch it for the crazy stuff, but more people watch. I watch it. I look forward to it. I'm happy because I'm like, man, at least we got something to look forward to during the summer. It's not no void.
Bro, like think of it like this. There was a couple, like, granted, you could argue that yes, it's a little bit annoying to kind of see some of these rollouts sometimes, but again, bro, we were there. We were there where the E3, yeah, you're gonna get Jid and Imagine Dragons, and that's the best you could hope for. You're not gonna have Keanu coming out saying, "No, you're breathtaking." You're not gonna have like he's able to bring in an audience of like, yeah, Snoop Dogg's gonna come out to present an award because games have gotten that big now. Like he's like you said, he's carrying the torch in a way that you don't see in this industry. We talk about it every pod of like this industry is becoming more and more unrecognizable by the day. By the
And
day.
to have somebody like him, who's, this reminds me of the guy who owned Comcast, Ted Turner.
Okay.
He's the reason why we had Saturday morning cartoons.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, man, because he loved cartoons.
Hmm.
He loved everything about them. And so he's the reason why we have a lot of he's the reason why we have a lot of the edgy stuff from Japan. Even the
Hmm.
Toonami, the Boomerang. Why like these cartoons are not on the air anymore? Oh no. We're gonna make the Boomerang. We're gonna get all these classic shows, XYZ, and of course people who don't appreciate it will never understand it and they'll destroy what he's built. Right? He got
Yeah.
voted out of his own company.
Hmm.
I don't know the rest of the story. I don't know if there was some crazy story where
Maybe.
maybe
Maybe.
maybe not. But besides that, he's for what I know. I believe Ted Turner is the reason why we got a lot of the cartoons for Saturday morning and a lot of the cool stuff that we got, the programming that we got after school, right after school program with WB,
Hmm.
like um,
And I feel like we're seeing some of that with Jeff Keighley. Like again, I'm not saying like to be fair, anyone who's listened to this podcast, like we're not above critiquing Jeff Keighley. We've critiqued him
yeah,
quite a few times on here. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
think like when you see him bringing out Kyle Bossman, bringing out Lucy from the Friends Per Second podcast, like he's doing as someone operating at that level, it's like he's doing what you would expect from
yeah.
someone of like the big. I wouldn't be surprised the next the Video Game Awards he brings on Maximilian. Like he's tapped in enough to know who's the movers and shakers even in the content space, and I think that's important. You need someone who's able to do that, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, I think I just hope there's more of him in the industry.
I don't know.
Right.
I
I
don't
just
know.
wish there was more of him in the industry, to be honest with you, because he can't do it by himself.
He can't, and
He-
I think that this award show was proof of that. Of like,
yeah.
what do you do when everyone is holding their best game for themselves? What do you do? I'm gonna
And
give you
yeah,
this deck, but I have the Egyptian God card tucked. Like, what do you do, bro?
he'll just have to find a way to where they have to come to him.
And I mean, he has like he has obviously good relationships with Sega and
Yeah.
Capcom. They
Yeah.
stay showcasing games at his place.
I would definitely find a way to go to third party
Mm.
and find a way for third. This will be a place for third party, which will always be bigger
Than the first party, yeah, for
than the
sure.
first party
I
studio.
mean, bro, the director of Black Myth Wukong is gunning for a video game award. Nothing
Yeah,
matters.
yeah, he said that. He
Yeah,
said that. And then now, hey, bro, you making so now everybody in China want to compete for this for honor.
yeah,
Yeah, like
for the
let's do it. Let's do it.
VGA.
Let's do it,
Waking up in the morning,
son.
ask yourselves what you can do for your country today as you may work this game around this game. Black
And
Myth
man, walk around,
Wukong direct.
man, walk around the office, great sunlight, dog. Just sun beaming. He wake up, dog, looking at the sun. Man, ready, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think yeah, man. I mean, I always like Jeff, man. I mean, yeah, the critique. Because for me, it always goes back to like, but you'd have nothing. And I'm not
right,
trying to be. I'm not
right.
trying to be the guy. I'm not trying to be the guy that'll give people a pass for anything because he's the only source.
Mhm.
But like yo, he's actually a gamer. He understands. God forbid if he decides to open his own studio for video games, I would expect him to do a great job. To be
Yeah.
honest with you,
Mhm.
we persevered, guys. We did great. He's congratulating her. Hey, you did great live on stage.
Mhm.
and she did a good job. So it's
Mhm.
like, who else would you rather to do it? Because a lot of people can't do it. Like they can't handle it.
The
Jeff has corporate
Yeah,
movement and gamer movement at the same time to where he can make it. Hey, listen, he has editor's brain, which is good.
it's
When you
great.
when you see some of the stuff these manga producers wanted to do, and the editor said, "Listen, buddy, no,
No.
you are detached from reality." They got a way of putting things to you to where stuff click. You're right. You're right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Always, shouts out to Jeff Keighley, man. If you ever see this video, you got a big fan.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I
I
remember the
I know I know
G4.
they're gonna critique him. They're gonna eat him up like they always do. But like
Like, what else do you
you're doing
expect?
fine, mama. Like you're
Like, we
doing a
literally
great
have no
job.
E3.
Yeah.
There's no E3 right now. Not
Yeah.
even a live stream E3. Nothing.
Yeah. And we've seen respectfully that you can't count on the quality of most of these first party showcases. They're all over the place.
Which killed E3.
Yeah. They're all
So
over the place.
let's come to one place and let's get it done. Video Game Awards is now it.
Yeah. I said in the chat, I was shocked at how good the Xbox showcase looked. I'm like, this looks like money. Like
Yeah,
they brought out the good cameras. I could see the shea butter on Sarah Bond. Like,
yeah, right. And I could feel like I felt the hope.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what? Maybe Xbox is giving us a new dawn.
We'll get there because I think they did typical Xbox stuff, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
get
get there. We'll get
there.
there.
In terms of the Summer Games Fest games that were announced, I kind of wish Tim was here because he probably had more to say. Do you have any thoughts on Sonic Racing Crossworlds? I know that's more his bag than our bag.
I'm okay with it existing. Why not?
But even with the I understand the Sega crossover properties. Yeah, sure, put Yakuza in there. Why not? But when I was trying to see Steve from Minecraft, you know, some of these like
Hey man, Steve from Minecraft is the Minecraft movie made a lot of money.
it
Minecraft
did.
resonates with a lot of people.
But do you have to say yes to every bag?
Oh yeah, if you're Microsoft, yeah, of
No, I'm
course.
saying like as a developer of like, does a part of
It,
you say like, I
it will.
get that their Minecraft is open to it, but does Sonic and Steve make sense?
Listen, Steve came with the Steve money. Listen, I want to be in this game. How much do I have to pay? That game probably Steve alone probably paid for 3 projects. So
It's possible.
I get to make Sonic even better. Let's do it. Yeah.
And it looks like they're trying. Like, not for nothing. I'm like, I, I've said this before. I'm like, I think everything is competition. They shouldn't be Mario Kart or nothing. So the
Shouldn't
fact
be
that
Mario Kart. A bland Mario Kart at
we're gonna
that.
talk about that too, like, shouldn't be Mario Kart or nothing. So I'm like, I'm for the trying. I just think again, the crossovers start to get a little for me sometimes of like, I just don't want everything to be Fortnite, bro. I'm
Me
sorry.
too. Me too. Me too. And I don't think it is. I think that Fortnite is just a vending machine. Let it be that.
Mm.
Let it be the vending machine of the
But they
industry.
won't. Everyone wants all these publishers are like, I want their snacks though. It's like,
No,
no.
but you're never gonna beat Five and Below snacks. Like for
Yeah.
movie time, you're not. I'm going to Five and Below, man.
Mm.
And then I'm going to the movie theater, and I'm saying, yeah, I got this from here, Mike and Ike's. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the secret, guys. But
Okay. Let's see. Did you have any thoughts on the new the new Scott Pilgrim game that got announced?
I don't
The
care.
Yeah?
I don't care. Scott Pilgrim was never like a staple or a cultural thing to me. It was a cool movie, and then I watched it one time and I went back to life.
I thought that movie was incredible.
Yeah. No, it was cool. It was cool. I just watched it late, man. Like I
Mm.
never saw it when it was out, man. You feel me? So everybody kept telling me Scott Pilgrim, this. I was like, what, Max Keeble? I kept saying Max Keeble in my head. I kept thinking about Max Keeble. I'm like, oh yeah, man. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
I think so. I care. I played the original game. I did enjoy the movie a lot. I think what kind of stepped on it a little bit, whether people want to admit it or not, the anime wasn't the greatest on Netflix.
Okay. Now,
And I think
why would you label that an anime when it doesn't look like one?
I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, I never took it as an anime. I just let people misword things. I said, well, this is just a mistranslation.
Yeah. So I think to me, I'm like, while I am interested in this game, and I do think I'm glad that Scott Pilgrim still has enough attention to make all these different attempts in that universe. It's just it's I think again with that Netflix series, it starts to feel like, okay, are we doing this because it feels like a natural progression of the story, or are we doing this because we think we can squeeze a little bit more money out of this?
I don't know, man. I wasn't really. I just thought, yeah, I just didn't care, man. Yeah. So, I mean, for everybody who likes it, I'm glad it exists for them,
Because
and
they're
that's
like
pretty much
even
it.
when they're saying like in the trailer, like, oh, like Scott and Ramona are gonna team up with some old enemies. I'm like, so you're gonna bring back Ramona's evil exes again as playable characters this time. Cool.
Yeah, man.
Knives Chow again. Like that. I think that's what I'm saying. Like it's a almost like a circular story of like, okay, how many more times are we going to introduce these same familiar faces over and
How
over and
many more
over again?
times, indeed?
Yeah. Let's see. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit. Did you have any like specific thoughts about the Marvel's Deadpool VR besides Neil Patrick Harris sounding like he's doing his best Ryan Reynolds impression, which was weird?
Which was easy,
It was weird.
but it was easy. I'm not giving it this. For me, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, But
I know we can't hire Nolan North for everything, but he makes a
yeah,
pretty good Deadpool.
he was a great Deadpool. Hey, Wolverine. Yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, bro. I
No
think
thoughts? Oh.
no, it was cool. It was just weird. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't like what. Who is he fighting? Who's the enemy? But I mean, do you need one in a VR game?
Not really.
Not really, right? You just need fun stuff to take place and happen. I think the set pieces were cool. For what I was seeing, you're on a hover cart, blah 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 blah. It was dope. I
Yeah,
like it.
I think it's in terms of like there's this game. I don't remember. I can't remember if we talked about it in the group chat or maybe you
Mhm.
mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it or I saw it and I just never thought to bring it up to the chat. There's some VR game that's like extremely violent where
Mhm.
like you can like dismember somebody, use their arm as a bat, then take like
I th- I think I seen that VR game, but I thought it was just like a hack. I didn't really
no,
think it
it's a
was. It was
game.
wow.
So I think like that was the energy that I saw from that trailer of like that we're not gonna go that far, but we're gonna get pretty close. And what better way to do that than with a character who can regenerate? So
Yeah,
like to me, I'm like, again, it's a VR game where like it makes sense. I don't know how well it's gonna do. There's been a run of VR games that I think really do work, but it's just like, is the audience there for it? That I don't know. But I was saying with you, I was like, I don't think this is a bad idea. I just didn't like the Ryan Reynolds impression. That was pretty much it.
I think it's gonna do great.
But who's buying the headsets, bro?
They just make sure it shows up on Steam.
Oh yeah, it's like
That's it. Just
as a
make sure it shows up on Steam, man. Don't
mm,
like your VR game should have never been only
strictly
strictly
VR. Yeah.
PlayStation. Because to me, it's like it's like the sensor. It's like the PlayStation camera. You know the
Mm,
it's just like that. I forgot what it was called, man. Like it's the PlayStation version of the Xbox Connect. Like it's
the
just
PlayStation Move.
PlayStation movies.
Mm.
It's not gonna be. It's just not gonna be. It's gonna be very difficult to get people to transition into it, man.
Which I just and again, we're not gonna rehash the topic. I just to me, I'm like, I think there's so much untapped potential in that
Absolutely,
in that gaming medium. There's so many
absolutely,
cool things that can be done.
absolutely.
So for me, I'm always just like, I just don't get why this is not more popular. Like,
People are interesting, man. I don't know.
yeah,
I guess people don't really like putting stuff on their head, man.
like apparently,
But
apparently,
they'll buy some headphones and versus AirPods. To me, just like you'll buy big studio headsets to walk around with.
I mean, have you tried on a noise canceling Bose headphones, bro?
Yeah, I have. My AirPods Pro does not noise cancellation as well.
Hey.
Yeah, some Serenity. Okay, all right, man. Now, well, Bose has always been superior
No,
sound,
for
man.
sure. I'm just saying, like, I think that's sometimes where you're just like, hey,
Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay, I feel you.
compromises must be made.
You
Sit in
sound
front of my
like Sentinel
TV.
Prime, dog. You sound like Sentinel Prime. Sound like Sentinel Prime right now. A deal
Yeah.
had to be made with Megatron.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Just. But again, I'm somebody who's more open to that of like,
Okay,
I'm okay with the steps to get here. Right.
okay.
Like I just don't know what it's gonna take for the masses. Marvel Cosmic Invasion confirmed to have 15 characters. Revealed She-Hulk and Rocket Raccoon. Thoughts?
Man, I'm feeling that game, dog. I
Hmm.
just hope it's long. Not too long, but
Uh,
long enough.
Probably 8 to 10 levels at least.
It's dope, man. I like it. I like what I'm seeing, man.
Hmm.
It's looking. I kind of wish they went with the art style that they're using to promote
Yeah. Yeah.
the game. Yeah, I really wish they did that. I'm like, why don't y'all just do this, man? That would have been the nice, edgy Marvel that we was. But I'm not mad at what they gave us either.
Yeah. I
So
think because we talked about this with the Turtles, I think Dotemu has a way of like they're not quite ready to like risk it. So like how the Turtles kind of like lean more on the 80s version of the Turtles. I think this is kind of gonna pull heavily from the X-Men arcade game, where it's just like, here's the spiritual successor to the popular game in the 90s. I'm like, I get it. I understand the nostalgia,
I do too, but no,
boost, but yeah, just
but no,
just yeah.
but no.
But
But it's growing on me, man.
it's a
Once
day
they
one
said it was
buy.
15 characters,
Yeah, it's a day one buy
I
for
said
me.
okay.
I don't care
15
who's in the game
characters.
at this point.
Yeah.
15 characters, you're not gonna miss. If you get 8 right, I'm fine. Like, you know, like, that's how I look at that game. I'm like, just tell me when I can buy it.
You mean tell me I got to play as Magneto?
Yeah, just tell me when and where I can purchase it.
Able to Bishop?
You guys got me to play Streets of Rage again. They can't miss.
Yeah,
They don't know how to miss. So let's see what else was announced that might be worth the discussion. I written this down initially when Tim was going to join us because I think this was more a you and him topic. Do you have any thoughts on the new trailer they showed for Onimusha? It didn't look bad.
It didn't look bad, but I don't know what it is. Still, I don't know what it's gonna be like. I don't know, man. For me, I just would have turned it into Ghost of Tsushima.
But it's funny because you always reference Ghost of Tsushima even though you don't like that game.
No, because of world, like gameplay wise, it like, but the world you can definitely do something with the land, right? The environment that's a character in itself. I really believe in that. Like I'm playing a video game. I'm walking. I'm seeing this giant statue. Like look at let's for example, this I know this is anime, but the statue where Sasuke and Naruto fought.
Okay.
That's bruh. You could put that in any. You could take that picture. Oh, Naruto.
Yeah.
No, Naruto. Because those statues, when you looked at them, they hit. You're like, shh, yo, what does this mean? And then you find out the history behind it. I think always having that in a game is always going to make the game more a reason to return, just to see that breath and just to play. Yo, I fought on that top of. I fought right there. Another reason why Spider-Man works the way it does. I'm webbing through New York. This is the building that my apartment is actually on. How do you lose it? How do you beat? I knew I went to after playing Spider-Man 2, the game for like the Xbox. I knew exactly where everything was.
Yeah, especially when you saw the developers diaries. Like we went to like New York Town Hall to ask for the blueprints for some iconic places so we could recreate it in the game. Like,
and I knew where everything was. So I was like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, this is the okay. I saw the we're in Manhattan, and I was able to go to Joe's Pizza Shop right there on 45th and Broad. You feel me? Like eat by myself in New York blocks, which is not that long.
No, but it just for the time again for that time. It's just
yeah. So back to Onimusha is just like atmosphere, depth, scaling. I'm just gonna see. Oh, are you going for Resident Evil with the sword? Resident Evil 4 with the sword? Okay, I'm not mad at it. Is it gonna feel like God of War with a katana? Okay, I'll take that. But I don't know.
It's been working for Capcom.
It's been working for Capcom. I don't know. I hope the story's good. I hope the story's really good. I hope the story's really good. I hope it's interesting. I hope it's just as quirky as the regular Onimusha has a little bit of quirk to it too, and some seriousness. And we'll see, man. I guess that's all I could say, really, man.
I mean, that's fair. It was just a trailer. You're like, there's not like we didn't get like a gameplay.
I'm glad it has graphics.
Yeah, it looks great. There's a budget behind it for sure.
There's a budget behind. I hope gameplay's fun.
I think again, more outside looking in, a little bit more detached. I do think it's gonna have the same problem that Nioh has, where you've had so many games that are inspired by it, that it being the forefather, how do you continue to lead? Right? Of like when you have even though it's a different style of game, Sekiro, which obviously like pulls from certain elements of this. It's like, well, now that game is that, how do you still it's the problem that you said about Virtua Fighter. Like, how does a Virtua Fighter continue to lead in the 3D fighters when Tekken exists? I think Onimusha is gonna have that same problem of like,
which is crazy. You were first,
yeah, right,
and
but
because you refuse to think of,
or you just didn't see it. Some people just don't have the, like we've said before, like they only know one way. They only know
they
one
don't know
way.
They need you need a Byakugan for
Yeah,
this. You need to see all
yeah.
the aspects.
Yeah, they only know one
Um,
way, right? It's like 50 Cent would have had a longer career if he just figured out how to rap about anything else besides street life. Such a smart businessman, but everything had to do about the time he was dealing drugs. Like 50, we just saw you sell vitamin water. Rap about that. It worked for Jay-Z. Jay-Z
yeah,
type entrepreneurship with your hooks. We would listen to 50 Cent right now.
I'll drink that Sprite, boy. You know I will.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Straight infomercial music.
Yeah.
But a catchy hook.
Meanwhile, you got Pusha T writing the hooks for and jingles for McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hey, and that's why he's a problem now. Done got his brother out of church to
To
rap
drop
ball.
some of the top tier non-cursing raps that you've ever heard in your life. Crazy. He's so convicted, he's not gonna curse, and it's still gonna be some of the best rapping you ever heard in your life. Oh my
And
gosh.
then you want to go, hell has no fury too, though. It just that's
Oh
my
man.
violin.
Yeah.
That's my violin right there. Yeah.
What did you think about Ill?
Okay. Um. Now, if it looks like that, that's cool.
I think it will.
And if it plays with, if it carries that same atmosphere and tension and energy,
Mhm.
I think it's gonna do great. I think it's gonna be here for a while.
You
It's
don't
gonna drop. It's gonna drop its 2 games, disappear for a little bit, drop 3, and call it a day and make something else.
you don't think that we might be, and I could be loud and wrong. You don't think that we might be heading to a place of a little bit of like zombie like fatigue?
Oh, zombie fatigue already exists for me. It got so bad that I only choose certain series. Zombie fatigue has been here ever since the inception of the 360. How many
Mhm.
zombie games have we been? I personally am done. I'm over the zombie thing,
Mhm.
right? We got zombie like this is exactly what happened in the 1930s all the way to the 80s. The Mummy. And then you had the zombie, they eat your brain. Night of the Living Dead 2, Night of
Yeah.
the Living Dummy. They
Then
see us come. They're watching, and then whatever movies they could, John Carpenter's They Live Again, whatever
mhm.
zombie. I mean, I'm zombie fatigued. I guess, yeah. What's that game? Sunset Overdrive. Like zombie, 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 zombie. Like for me, it's like, man, I'm over it, man. To be honest with you.
Mhm.
I think the zombie fatigue existed for me for except because to me Resident Evil was the true game with effort made,
Yeah, but
right?
and it looks like effort made. I'm just saying, like it just to at a glance, right? Just going off the trailer, it just feels like Dead Space and Resident Evil did the fusion dance.
It feels like yeah, Resident Evil 7, Dead Space, yeah. But um yeah, I'm pretty much over it, dog. Like I don't care. Like I mean, it's not gonna affect me. Like I'm not playing Death by Daylight. I'm not playing what's that other game? Even though those aren't the same games. I'm not. What's that other game? Dying Light.
Mhm.
Where you parkouring, you're running like Jason Statham across rooftops. I don't care.
Mhm.
You know, I don't care about those games. Those games don't interest me like that, man. Call
Yeah,
of Duty Zombies is fun for a mode. Other than
yeah.
that, I'm not. But with Ill, it's good enough for people to be like, I'll play this.
It was definitely
Outlast,
intriguing. Like
yeah,
it was eye catching for sure.
Outlast is definitely interesting enough for me to be like, oh, I'll give it a try. Because
Mm.
it's more of Hills Have Eyes vibes than zombies. Okay, there
Yeah,
is a zombie part here, but I think the zombie fatigue is well over, man. Like you had Dead Rising, you had oh man, keep let's every Left 4 Dead,
all of them, all of them.
all of them, man. So I'm like, I don't care,
The
man.
Last of
I'm
Us,
over
even though it's
zombies.
a fungus, they're
Last
zombies.
of Us, and you now you
Days
got
Gone.
Days Gone, two zombie games.
Yeah. It's something where I'm like, and maybe it was just because they were trying to coast too much off the IP. I'm like, if they were to
We had The
take
Walking Dead as a TV show at the time. I was
it's
done,
still
bro.
on.
I was done. I was
Yeah.
done.
Well, the
I,
spinoff is still on, let me say, but it's still on.
I
I
was
think
done.
for me, I'm like, I would love them to, or game developers to take the idea of Alien and Predator more seriously. Take this same type of concept.
I like
You're,
the concept of Predator Badlands. That was cool.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're Adrian Brody falling through the air, and you gotta figure it out. You're
And
being hunted.
people didn't like that Predator. I can't believe it.
That was a great movie.
I can't believe it.
A great. I mean, there's certain things I'm like, I understand, but I'm like, what else would you have wanted from that type of film?
So you guys mean to tell me I'll take a kid with the Tism's powers,
That movie was. We don't talk about that
figuring
movie.
out Predator technology
Yeah, we don't talk about
because
that one, bro. Mm-mm.
and then you got a super soldier predator running around chasing another predator. Fam, to me, you got a predator the size of Shaquille O'Neal. Why do I need to? What's the point of continuing life? And he wears no armor.
Right,
He just with just the toga on.
right. Just raw dogging the bullets. Oh, okay.
You want? And
Thanks,
he could
Lord.
turn invisible himself.
I'm ready to come home,
I
Lord.
give up.
Yeah.
I give up.
I can see your pearly gates.
West Virginia, take me on. Yeah, I was like, yeah, bro. I said, dog, this predator is an X-Man. Like,
Yeah. I do think time will be like, people will be like, we judged the Adrian Brody Predator movie too harshly. I think that's what's gonna take. Man, even the scene with Danny Trejo where it's like, help me, fam, and he was already slumped.
my heart dropped, bro. And then the plot twist where you figuring out, like, yo, you ain't got no gun. You ain't got no like what? Dog, but he a serial eater.
Yep.
And I'm like, fam, how do you? d- But you see, the same way you feel about this predator is the same way I feel about Terminator Salvation. Terminator Salvation was a good movie, dog.
It is. I think it's just hard because your highest high was high. Not many movies franchises have a Terminator 2 in their wheelhouse, bro. It's hard.
Okay, I get that.
You might be the best of the sequels, but
Yeah,
that was
dog. Terminator Salvation over Terminator T3
oh,
any
no,
day
for sure.
of the
I'm
week.
just saying, like, but then you go watch T2 and you're like,
But you not beating a 32-year-old James Cameron like with no
before
Red Bull.
before he became an environmentalist.
Yeah, you're not beating Tony Stark, James Cameron.
Yeah.
You not well. Good luck.
He was at the peak of his powers.
Good luck. Oh wait. You dropping the Alien album? Oh okay, don't worry. Let me get that album. I'm gonna rap on it. I'm gonna make the storyline better. I'm gonna make the lore better.
I'm gonna give you Starship Troopers before Starship Troopers.
I'm gonna create the reason why you're inspired by Halo. The ship, if you look at the ship, it's exactly the same ship in Halo. Go look, just turn. Halo 1 cutscenes
Mm.
and just watch that first part. Yo, that's the same shit.
Sometimes you can't deny the run. That's how I look at certain things. I'm like, I always compare everything to music. Jeezy from the Trapper Die mixtape to the Recession album. I don't want to hear it. But no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
102 wasn't. It was.
It was. It was. It was.
G Unit from 2002 to about 2005? No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I feel you.
But no. Yayo can't rap. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
So seductive.
Yeah, good luck beating Ludacris when he had that run. Scheme, plot.
Yeah. 1999 to about 2004 Ludacris.
Chicken and beer. It's just chicken and beer. It's just chicken and beer.
Word of mouth.
It's just
Southern hospitality.
Southern hospitality. I feel like fighting every time
sometimes you can't deny the run. So that's that. I know we got completely off topic, but I think that's how I feel like with Terminator. You're not wrong. Like in Salvation, I'm just like, but
I get you.
It was James Cameron at the peak of his powers.
My gosh.
The Wachowski brothers when they were still brothers.
Even though we know that script was
inspired.
Trap card. Yeah.
Where do we start from? How did we get to this topic?
How did we get here? My bad, bro. I'm so sorry. Cool. I'm sorry, viewers. We're just very passionate, man. Very passionate, man.
But yeah, I just think with ill, we'll see.
With ill, we'll see, man. I just it doesn't look like it's gonna be a long game. I don't think we're gonna get ordered 33.
No, not that short. But I'm cool with a tight 10 to 15 hour game if it's high quality. I think I know everyone's trying to figure out, especially now with variable pricing, what's a good price point for certain things. I'm like, if you can get anywhere, if it's not an RPG and you can get somewhere between 10 to 15 hours and you're charging me anywhere between $50 to $70, I'm cool. I don't need 80-hour bloat to mentally justify my purchase. That's not necessary for me. Okay. Wu-Tang, Rise of the Deceiver. First of all, what? Second of all, huh?
Second of all, where's the Wu-Tang members?
That's the plot. Or you're going to go rescue them with Ghostface Killer. All 47 of them. The RZA, the Jizza, I just, out of respect for RZA, because clearly he's extremely passionate about the things he's passionate about. Without him, we don't get the Afro Samurai soundtrack. Without him, we don't get a lot of the really cool things he was able to do and put on in terms of infusing hip hop culture with certain things, even the whole ninja-esque aspect. He was one of the pioneers of that. Respectfully, do I look for a Wu-Tang game in 2025?
I feel like we getting Shaq Fu vibes, bro.
A little bit, but I'm just I don't know, because I'm like, what would the alternative have been? 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand 2?
Hey,
I was joking.
Hey.
I was joking.
Hey.
I was potting.
Okay.
I was potting.
Okay. Hey. That's that. You can
potting.
find a copy unsealed, dog. That's worth $2 million on the market. Easy.
I was potting.
$2 million on the market, easy, man.
I feel like this is almost like, and again, I don't want to sound disrespectful. This is almost like the hip hop version of seeing an Indiana Jones game of who is this for? The ideal market for this are 40 years old and up. The most devout Wu-Tang fan I know has an older brother, and that's why he's a Wu-Tang fan. And him and I are the same age. For like, I mean, it was like that's what I'm trying to get at. Of like, this is not really for you or me. Definitely not anyone younger than us. Because they're gonna be
I don't know,
like,
man.
yeah,
I
oh
really don't
Wu-Tang.
know because it's like,
Is Redman in part? No.
and like she got a giant hammer instead of just like making yourself your own version of Sifu.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe as time goes on and the gameplay comes out, we'll see something that's like undeniable. It just, I remember, like as I saw, I was like, this just seems random. That's all. I'm like, this just seems so random.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you what concepts to do, man. You could have had Prapper the Rapper combat, but
Yeah,
hey, man,
I don't know. We'll see, right? Time will tell. What do you? Oh, here's a good one. Street Fighter 6 Year 3. How you feeling about the picks
it was it's a two.
for the picks? Wow.
I hate Alex. Number one, I don't care about him. I never will.
Hmm.
Stop forcing this guy down my throat, man. Like I'm supposed to like him.
Hmm.
I don't.
Hmm.
Um, Sagat, I not mad at him coming back, but then again, I don't care because he don't even look. He don't look okay. He looked like he's dying of sickness. And then his clothing, like you couldn't. He's also a nomad, like Ryu. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, man.
They might have peaked a little bit too hard with this Street Fighter 5 design. With the
And
scarf and traveling with the tiger. You can't really. It's hard to to top that again in 6.
you you couldn't you could yeah. And like Ingrid, wow, that's DLC you give us later. You don't put her in this one. You don't put her in this one. You give her us. You give us her later. I think the only person that I feel like I got excited for
Viper.
was Sea Viper.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't. That's it. I kind of wish she still had her hairstyle. That was very iconic.
It'll be in the game. Don't you
It'll be
worry.
yeah, of course, without the price tag. But yeah, Cammy
Right.
has short hair. So what am I talking about, right?
Mhm.
Um, she just kind of looks like there's a costume that Marissa has. They kind of similar,
Mm.
with the wedding dress and the mohawk for So, but whatever. But yeah, that's it, man. It's a two, man. I think
Yeah.
Sagat's gonna play well, but he looked weird. He looked weird.
I
Um,
just
and then for me, I wouldn't have. This would not have been. This definitely would not have been my second pick, fam. Like this. It would have been. It would have been Sea Viper, Sean Makoto, and then Sakura for whoever anybody who wants it. Just to fill it up.
mm,
Um, again, Sea Viper, Sean, Makoto, and Saddam. Like, how many people been asking for Buddy for the longest?
he's
That would
been
have been,
he's been missing in action. Yeah, yeah.
or hopes and dreams and wishes, Fei Long.
He had to
You know what I'm
fall on the
saying?
sword for the
But Jamie's supposed to replace. No. Put Fei Long in the game and you gonna win. Put Booby in if you want to win. Put Booby in.
Yeah. To me, I agree with you. I have no pushback. To me, looking at this announcement, I'm like, these picks only work if you're gonna turn Street Fighter 6 into Street Fighter 4. What do I mean? Are we getting and everyone's here at some point? Because if we're not, why was this the pick for any of them.
How long are they going to support the game?
That's my whole point. If this is the game that we're seeing until 2027, maybe. But if it's not, I'm like, this is not how you get it done.
Okay, I do think it's going to be 2027. It could, because they're not. This is definitely going to slow down their momentum. I'm be honest with you. For me, at least, I know people love Alex. I don't know why. He looks cool though. I like his design. We'll see, man. We'll see how he plays. We'll see how he looks. Um, I just didn't Sagat, man. Why did they do that to you?
Yeah.
You look weird, bro.
Does
Malnourished.
Adon not exist anymore? Is that Adon? Is he
Which is a very which is okay because they don't fight the same
at all?
He uses a different type of he uses lethal way, like he does lethal way, the Miramaran fighting of Muay Thai. I don't know if you knew that.
I just know they fight differently. Like every
Yeah.
time I see them in games, like they do not. Yes, it's the same fighting style. They don't fight the same. And even if they did fight similar, I'm like, Ryu, Ken, Akuma. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's very easy.
How many Shoto characters are in Street Fighter? Like, let's be serious. Yeah, like
Sakura, Dan, Sean, Ryu, Ken, Akuma, Go
Ken.
He could have been a return. I would have had the old wisdom pack. Goken, Gen, Rose.
No more Rose.
I know Rose is man. No, hey,
no more Rose.
I don't hate Rose though. You could make Rose fire.
They can't seem to figure it out. So if they can't figure it out, just don't do it no more.
It's easy, dog.
I would think so too, but it's not. If it's not working, just it's okay. Just
turn her into
aside.
Ghost Rider Gambit.
Set her aside. Just if we're not gonna do anything with this, just go ahead
and then Ingrid, like, what is she gonna do? The originator of the cycle power. Who knew that though? She's only in one game.
It's DiCaprio all over again. Who's this? Okay, my sister, another clone body for Bison. Who's she in? Oh, she was in like a cutscene, like an arcade ending. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
She fought Raw.
She was for, but that's what I'm saying. Like, are we bringing back Ingrid because we want to do something with her, or it's just like we got to somehow justify the season pass with a new quote unquote character?
And Makoto and
you know where I stand. The strong arm fighting style of Makoto couldn't get it done.
Cause my thing is that say after, because everybody, to me, this season's already like flush. I'm like, man, this year gonna be boring.
Yeah.
So this probably year 4 might be the last DLC. I doubt it because it's Street Fighter. They're gonna see how much they can ride this out. They're definitely gonna revamp that that open world. They're gonna put money into that, man. Cause this got me thinking. I do think Tekken's gonna end their season up pretty soon because from the energy that they're getting. But I don't see we getting past another after this. This is probably gonna be the last season.
I don't know if it's gonna be the last season, but they want to get to the next season as soon as they possibly can.
Yeah, but with Street Fighter, I'm already looking forward to the next season, the next year, because this is not gonna do it for moi. and even with that, who are they gonna put? If they put Poison, Rolento, Hugo,
nope.
I was like, yo, what are you guys doing over Sean and Makoto?
Yeah, no.
I'll take Remy. I don't want Remy, but I'll take him. I mean, we already got, but no, we can't forget about Lin and Bosch. They're gonna be in the game. Chun-Li's successor is just like, what would they do? Why I always think these tech jackets is the way?
I don't know, bro.
Like it's good for Reina. Reina makes sense. But
it's almost like they don't believe in their characters.
You could have easily went to rival schools and then like aged them up. Now you got a rival for Sean with Batsu. Batsu acts like Kazuya. He's an extremely aggressive Ryu, and he likes the Dark Hondo. You got a storyline right there, man. And then Sean don't mess with that stuff. Sean is trying out here being taking he's getting fame. He's popular. He's super cool. He's on cereal boxes because of his association with Ken. He's made a brand with himself. He's also a streamer. You could have did something, you know.
No, remember Rashid's a streamer.
Yeah, this the same guy who dropped on 9/11 with a scholar. I'll never forget that, bro. I'll never forget that. And guess what his stage is? A tailspin plane flying across the rooftops of Manhattan. Bro, I'll never forget that. Do I have a grudge against Rashid? Yeah,
he plays
I
fire in
do.
this game.
No, he does. He does. He's a problem. He's a problem.
He plays fire in this game.
Do I have a problem?
I don't know. To me, I'm like, I don't, especially after you went out of your way to fix the perception of the Street Fighter 3 era characters in Street Fighter 4. You fix Young, you fix Yang, you fix Makoto, you fix Ibuki.
You want to make people happy?
Did
You want the ultimate of ultimates? All right. So we're gonna go. Here's what we're gonna do. Next season 4, Sean Makoto has to be. Sean Makoto. Eagle. I'll even take Eagle. He's the one helping Ken.
Okay.
In the storyline. So he's gonna make it. Hager has to be there. How you don't have Hager? But you know what? Again, let me do my season 4. Sean Makoto. Adon. Fei Long. That's my dreams. My dreams are here. But of course not. If Fei Long don't make it, I know they're gonna put Karin in the game. I don't want Karin in the game.
Why? Put Dudley.
Oh no, I'm getting it, bro.
You only get 4, bro. You listed like 6 already.
No, I said what? Sean Makoto. Who else I put? I put Sean Makoto, Fei Long. Okay, you could put Dudley, but they're not gonna put. They gotta put another girl. I don't know if it's 2 girls, 2 guys, 2 girls, 2 guys.
Has that been the pattern?
I think so.
I don't think that was on purpose though.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think that's like a set in
Oh, it's a
stone
requirement.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean Makoto. You could add Dudley, Fei Long. That's what I want. That's mine. That's the perfect pack.
For me, I don't know. I don't have right now. I don't have a list because I'm just like you said to me, season 3 or year 3 is like I don't care.
Dan's gonna show up.
Who?
Dan is gonna show up one way or another.
They can't sell it Dan again. I don't even know how they got that off in 5. They're not gonna
but they did.
I mean, he was probably the best Dan we've ever seen, but they're not gonna get that off again.
Gil is coming back. He's already hinted. Yeah. Why not?
Because, well, what do I know, right? I was saying like they resell us the same characters installment after installment anyway. How foolish of me to think that they won't do it again. But yeah, we can move on. We're almost at the end of the Summer Games Fest. Axe of Blood.
Axe of Blood. What's up?
It's the one being made by like 9 people. It's almost like Sifu, but with guns.
The Sleeping Dogs Sifu game.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna do fine. What happened? The combat?
It looks like it was made by 9 people. I'm not gonna lie. I love the concept. I love what they're shooting for. Like I've screamed from the rooftops. I would love a Sleeping Dogs sequel, but it looks like 9 people worked on that game. Like salute. Pursue your dreams. Don't let don't let anybody tell you can't. But it yeah, yeah. It could use a little
Okay.
a little razzmatazz, a little Unreal Engine
Uh,
5
at
booster
least it has a
pack.
look though. It has a
No,
style.
no. Again, interesting gameplay concepts,
Yeah.
interesting premise. I just I need a little.
Directly to Steam, right? That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
You could
yeah,
just go
yeah,
to
yeah,
directly to
yeah,
Steam.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Where then you reinvest the first year of profit back into the game to get like a.
I mean, they don't got Lost Souls to side money, so
They don't, but they need it. They need it, bro.
Lost Souls aside was getting paid for 10 years straight, buddy. That's crazy.
Only to get pushed back again. But hey,
Since when?
it was supposed to come out like this month. It got pushed back.
So when?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was supposed to come out like this month, bro.
This,
um,
this guy isn't dead. This guy isn't dead, man.
so the next Sega project officially has a name: Stranger Than Heaven.
What
Yakuza
is that?
engine.
Strangers in Heaven.
Stranger Than Heaven.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Stranger Than Heaven, bro. I liked what I saw a lot. I'm very, very intrigued. Like if ever there was an example of like, yo, Sega's really, really, really trying.
You know
This
why I
is it.
clicked this? Because for a quick second, I was thinking, yo, he looks like the character from Virtual Fighter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I kind of didn't. I don't
He
know
had
why. I just
the
think
Akira
over.
outfit on for sure. But
Yeah.
Stranger Than Heaven, bro. It looks legit. It's I mean, of course it was just like a well, no, it wasn't an announcement trailer because technically it was announced. I think it was called Project Sentry initially, if I remember correctly, and then they gave it
Mhm.
a name at Summer Games Fest. But I was like, oh, okay, this is all right. I will be paying attention when you guys drop an update in terms of what's going on.
Do they show fighting?
A little bit. They showed a little bit of
Okay.
the gameplay. Well, I guess we'll park it for another time since you haven't seen it, and we'll just like kind of go into that topic, especially because we still have the last showcase.
Yeah.
And then of course the one more thing reveal at the end of Summer Games Fest after teasing it throughout the show with some very odd advertisements of like, here's the actress of Lady Demestru telling you that all the Resident Evils are on sale right now.
Yeah,
Here's the
and
developer of Resident Evil saying we need some more time to cook. I'm like, this
you
is
thought,
odd.
yeah, I'm like, wait, they're planning something only for me to feel like I was drinking soda that's been open for 32 days,
It's just flat.
just flat.
I I'll say my quick thoughts.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
sequels of Resident Evil, I have no interest in. They do not seem interesting to me. Village didn't seem interesting. 9 does not seem interesting. Returning to Raccoon City for another blonde hair protagonist, I'll pass. That's all I have to say. What are your thoughts?
Wow. You're gonna get some hate in the comments.
I can't wait.
Um. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's the objective of this Resident Evil, in the sense that, are we finishing the is this the final chapter of Resident Evil?
Sure.
Okay. So if it is, why aren't the people that's are connected to it present? Just like it.
DLC. Ada Wong made money for Resident Evil 4.
But that's not rich story rich. Ada Wong was great for a side character, but like, I'm not gonna play as Leon as DLC for it not to feel like I'm playing a full-fledged game.
You're not gonna pay.
No, man, I think that tarnishes the brand, because what do you like? Who is this girl? You had Jill, who hasn't made a return since God knows when. Revelations doesn't count because it was on a handheld.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And Revelations was a prequel That wasn't even like, no, man, I ain't doing this, bro.
Yeah. Where is Chris?
Where's Chris Redfield after the experiences of 8? And this is a new entry. Like, it doesn't. What? Okay, even if Leon Kennedy is in the game, where's everybody else? And if they're not there, they must be doing something just as equally important
You
for
would
that not
think.
to be
Yeah.
even present in this game at all.
Granted,
Right?
it's just a reveal trailer.
It's just a reveal trailer, but he stated that she's the protagonist.
Yeah.
Connected to like your mom, who wouldn't a game nobody even played like that. Like nobody had access to Outbreak like that. That's why it failed. And
Mm.
you want to connect it. I mean, I'm not feeling it, dog. Like, I don't care about this. Like, I didn't care about Ethan Winters, and I don't care about you. I don't care that your mom is gone. Like, you're every other character that I felt like the character from you interacted with.
Hmm.
That's how she felt. Not too sure of herself or whatever. I'm like, man, put Jill in the game. I don't care if Jill knows how to give me Jill, please. Where's Claire? Where are the ladies of Resident Evil, man?
I don't know.
You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
know.
Like what? Like if you wanted to do a female protagonist, go ahead, use the women that actually mattered.
Mm.
I don't know, man. Hey, okay, I would have even accepted if it was Rose.
Okay. Tell me more.
I would have accepted if it was Rose in the game that you were this was the Resident Evil 9, because she makes more sense to bring it, because she's such a wild anomaly. It makes sense for everybody to be like, yo, you know what? They still find interest in her.
Mm.
You thought it was done. It's not done, woman. We actually coming for you, because it's just like how Avatar 2 should have turned out. You mean you tell me you got a whale that can give you eternal life, and this is not the focus of the story?
So just some. Don't get me started. Don't
Yeah,
get me started.
and then these YouTubers aren't very great. You would think with all the subscribers they have the subscribers are there because they have a great perception and great insight.
I'm not gonna hold you. I think we're starting to see, especially when you look at, and we'll talk about this a little bit at the end, when you're starting to see the duality of the bigger content creators of like, I don't think you should get a Switch 2. I bought one and I love it, but I don't think you should. It's like, wait, what? It's almost like I can hear the I don't want to lose my review code access by telling the truth. You know,
Yeah,
that's what I'm starting to feel in the like. Obviously, not for everybody, but for
it
the
just
most part, I'm like, I don't believe you.
yeah, cause me watching the trailer and I'm looking at it, I'm like, dog, why? Who are you? Like the hostility is because no Jill, and you on this hot you on this you on Big Tigger's stage right now, dropping some of the greatest bars. You dropped Resident Evil 4. You on a hot streak. You drop. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't want this to be like 3.
I don't think it will be.
I don't want this to feel like what y'all did with 3,
Hmm.
where everybody's like, well, it's a game. You know, I don't want you to. I feel like it's a missed opportunity because it just doesn't make any. You going back to Raccoon City, and the people that are involved with Raccoon City aren't there. What are we doing? What are we doing?
The most I could say is like, let's hope
Yeah,
you end up eating your words.
we're going for horror again. I mean, like, yo, you could make horror with with people that are capable. Look at
Yeah,
Predator.
yeah.
Those were the biggest, buffest dudes turned to puppies
Hmm.
in front of an alien force. That being what happens when the hunters become the hunted. I ain't never heard that before. Tell me more, right? Whatever. And so, like, dog, I don't know, man. I mean, I know the game didn't come out. Let me play it, but God forbid this is first person. You want like who? Guys, there's a consistency that you want with your product, man.
Yeah.
Do you think I care about the tank control community? Y'all could all drink battery acid. I don't care about y'all. I never will care about y'all. To me, y'all cavemen that learn how to how to use fire, and y'all only yeah. And I show you a flint rock to where you don't have,
Right. No, I show you a lighter. And you're
show you a
like,
lighter, a flint rock. You know what I'm saying? I show you a flamethrower, and you guys say no.
yeah.
I like I don't care about y'all, man. Tank
Yeah.
fixed camera. You know what I'm saying? Like
We'll
y'all got
see. It
no
to me,
no.
I'm like, because it's a reveal trailer, I'm like, it's too early to really like judge it for real. I just
It feels like the game was directed right now by a UPN original.
eh, I don't know if it's a reveal trailer, bro. I
It's
don't
a real
know.
trailer,
I don't
but
know.
I don't want to play as you, dog. That's it. I don't want to play as homegirl.
Because I'm
I
like, what
like
if they
it
reveal
because
that there's dual protagonists? Like, are
now
you know,
what if they reveal? It doesn't seem like there is.
it's the reveal trailer, bro. It's the first
He
trailer.
said that's the main protagonist. What else do?
If the dual protagonist is a secret, you're not going to reveal it on the initial rollout. You got to keep it tucked.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
to me it's gonna I don't know, man. It's gonna be like Resident Evil Zero. Like who asked for you? You know? Yeah, Billy. That's cool. All right, Billy. Right? Who came to play as this girl? Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm playing Resident Evil Zero. I'm like, I don't care about y'all.
Mm.
And then I'm fighting Slugman. Like, no. And then okay, and then who's the villain of this storyline? You can't make it someone that just shows up. Surprise! It has to be someone who's already there in the shadows.
Or they'll just do the usual cop out, which is she'll have flashback sequences of the same shadowy figure leading up to the final confrontation, like they usually do in things like this when they gotta like shoehorn in storyline of like, oh, but what you didn't know was Evil McEvilson was over here terrorizing this family.
Yeah, this is to be honest with you, I don't know. I didn't like 7 like that. Everybody loves 7. It's not Resident Evil to me. It's first person.
People didn't really like 8.
I actually liked 8, but for different reasons. Towards the end it got crazy. But I did like 8. I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed 8. But 8 was me waiting for 4. That's all 8 was. I subtracted 4 to get 4.
In the words of Tim called 8 a glorified tech demo for 4. And he wasn't all the way wrong.
He wasn't all the way wrong. He wasn't.
So
And yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, to me, I'm just like, where's 5? Where's the 5 remake? Wake me up when they announce.
and because you know what this is telling me, man. This is telling me that like y'all can't do a better Spider-Man without homie. You can't do a Spider-Man than the first 3.
I don't know about
You can't do a
that.
Spider-Man better than the Sam Raimi editions.
I don't know about that. I think
Because if we're gonna look at those Resident Evils, 4 is the Sam Raimi trio.
right, but I think it puts Capcom in like this loop with the franchise because 4, even though it's held in high regard, the argument could be made is that that's when the franchise departed from the horror into more horror action adventure, and then 5 was like full action adventure.
But can I say something? And I think people hate when it was always going that way. When you
Listen,
played 3, you had an action button. She was dodging. That's a real mechanic from 3. You start
I want to
off
suplex a
by
zombie,
Jill jumping
so
out of Jill jumps out of a window, lands in some lands.
Hmm.
and the building's on fire. Dog, if it was horror, why homie got a rocket launcher?
Why are you being chased by a mutation with the rocket launcher?
A mutation super, so he was
He
supposed to be a
already has
super.
the advantage. Yeah.
So you gonna tell me it's not action in a
Yeah.
leather
No,
trench coat?
hey,
That's what I'm trying to like.
preacher
The
choir.
consistency.
So,
Devil May Cry
but
was created off of.
I'm just saying, like, and we can move on. But I'm just saying, like, I think that's where Capcom is at. Of like,
And
they don't know which feedback applies. Of like, y'all tell me you don't want Resident Evil being 2 action, but you guys love 4. The 4 remake sold the most out of the remakes so far. So which one is it? Is it Ushiwali or is it one Mike?
can I even go further? Six did great too. 6 saved Capcom.
But again, you look at the online feedback.
And those are the people that could afford keyboards. The people that play Resident Evil can't afford keyboards, man. So they're not talking, dude.
Yeah, or
People,
they just like the new direction and they're okay with it.
yeah.
Resident Evil 5 was the first Resident Evil I considered playing because
when
of
I saw
you
when
know
I saw I was aiming with the lasers with laser sights on the cube. I said, "Yo, I don't care if I'm scared."
I got the
That intro to where they was storming you, and and then I go next to this bookshelf, and it says press A, and I move it. Oh, then they trying to burst through the door, and I get close to the door, and I seal the. Nah, kid. On a GameCube, 2004,
Hey,
bruh, you're not making me go back. I don't care, Tank Control community. You guys can kick rocks, man. You guys don't push numbers, man. For this, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my corporate man hat. Where's the money? If I make Resident Evil 1 with 4's perspective, I could make me another Capcom.
yeah, but that's why I said maybe Capcom just doesn't know what's the definitive direction of modern Resident Evil.
Let me tell you what you do. Capcom, you listening? Here's what you do. You do both. That's it. You do both. You do both. There's nothing scarier than me playing Gears of War and I run out of bullets. And I'm not fighting locusts. I'm fighting other NPCs, other players online. That's scary. You can create that same thing. You make the enemies like if okay, for example, okay, you give me all the guns in the world, but I'm going up against alien. You think I'm gonna feel great? No. I was terrified when I went up against the Verdugo, the predator-looking insect, human hybrid in Resident Evil 4. Just make the enemies. You know what to do. I didn't feel like I was gonna kill Mr. X. He just went to sleep. He moved a helicopter aside to pursue me. You can do it. I was not gonna I was if I guarantee you nobody would play 3 if Nemesis was following you throughout the entire game.
No.
Nobody would do it. I'd have put it down. I said, what's the point? I ain't playing this no more. I go to urinate and he's right there.
Right. I'm in the safe zone.
I'm in the and he opened and he no man, I'm peace. Yeah, but y'all didn't do that. Y'all didn't do that. So it's I just don't understand how a group of 100 people can't figure out how to screw in the light bulb.
But it depends again. Does the person I'm screwing the light bulb in, do they want the soft watt? Do they want the LED? Do they like? And I'm trying to gauge what's gonna get the most approval. Do they want the high wattage? Do they want natural lighting light bulb? Like I think that's the problem they're having with Resident Evil. They don't know what light bulb the owner wants.
And then for everybody giving Resident Evil 5 flack, Resident Evil 5 got mad crazy, scary when you was fighting them roaches. You keep giving me enemies like that, nobody's. Yo, the werewolves were terrifying in 8. I
Mm,
didn't feel comfortable.
mm.
The werewolves were terrifying in 8, bro, because they were not like, yo, these are okay, werewolves. Okay, that was a little stretch, like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, no. No.
But I don't know how you justify that. A lot of the
Yeah,
stuff I don't know how you
how
justify.
you tie that into again, what light bulb?
Yeah.
which
But
one?
y'all was yeah, but that's how I feel, man.
Okay.
That's how I honestly feel about the tank control community. Like,
Okay.
y'all go ahead and put your
Let,
caps on, your
let's move
helmets.
let's move on to the Xbox showcase, the last showcase of the night. Now, like I said earlier on in the pod, this showcase looked like money. This showcase looked like uh, they took it seriously. I
Paid
mean,
for by PlayStation.
co-sponsored by PlayStation for sure.
Co-sponsored by PlayStation.
Like everything was crisp. You heard world premiere about 62 times throughout the whole thing. like all of the things. They addressed all of the things. And let's see, what are some of the things that like were highlighted that I thought were a good topic? How did you feel about the official rollout of all things Final Fantasy coming to Xbox?
Oh, I was expecting it. I'm not surprised.
I'm a little surprised that Remake is coming in the winter. Like you shadow drop 16, but Remake's coming in the winter? Remake, a 5-year-old game that already has a sequel that's already a year old?
Yeah, I mean, that I don't understand. I think maybe they probably already had a package formed. They probably did what Tekken did already planned before. Like, hey, don't know, let's get 16 first and then we can worry about 7
Yeah, I
later.
mean, I get you don't want to step on 16, but it's just like, I mean,
No, 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 no,
16.
no. I think during the no, no. Now we find out after. I think that was a beforehand
Oh, I see what you're saying.
thing. That's what you
They
know what I'm saying. I
they
think that
thought
was a
16 would have
beforehand.
enough legs to come. I got you.
We gotta secure Final Fantasy 16 before anything,
I got
So
you.
that's what that was. Versus people looking at 16 and like they're with 16 and they're looking back at 7. Like I think that they didn't anticipate that's what was gonna happen. So
Yeah.
it looked like a deal that was gonna take place beforehand. Because trust me, if Tekken team knew that 16 was gonna, they would have aborted that
Yeah.
stage.
We just don't think Clive works for this kind of game.
Yeah. So
I think it's a little to me it's a little surreal. Like there was a little bit of like PlayStation superiority of like we get Final Fantasy, and you guys got to figure it out in terms of your RPGs. But I get it.
yeah.
It's like without this Square Enix collapses as a company. So I'm like, if this is what we got to do to make sure they
And
can
did you
keep,
see the CEO? Does he look like he playing games?
there ain't a big enough exclusive bag in the world.
Did you see the new CEO of Square Enix? Does he look like he playing games?
His facial expression made me understand his Japanese of like, I know what he is not dealing with. These exclusive contracts, it's over with.
They, this man was ready. I was already planning. I'm 17 steps ahead of all of you. That man's sleep in the company.
Rebirth Part 3 will be on Steam day 1.
Dog, he looked like he one of them supervisors that figures stuff out at will.
Yeah,
Oh, yo, okay, so and so called out. Just show me, how to turn it off and on, and after that, now he's better than you within 3 weeks. So why are we paying you this much?
right.
Uh, uh, uh,
Yeah.
son,
Day 1.
gone.
Yeah. Pre-order bonus is the Advent Children costumes. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah. Why isn't the fusion sword in this game? Well, we just thought it would be too much for you. I learned how to code last week.
or even more so than that, too much for a game that focuses around the multiverse? Anything is possible? Okay. and he just walks away
Oh.
like Buck.
Well,
Where's the supervisors?
during lunch,
Yeah.
during lunch, Kunima son come. They requested you. Oh, that sushi was about to dip in that eel sauce. You was about to take that last bite.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm happy. I'm happy that people who haven't got a chance to experience Final Fantasy on the Xbox will get a chance. I'm sure it'll be great. It'll run great. I mean, remakes on Switch too. You know, like it's the let's get this into the hand. Again, for the third party developer, I'm like, I completely understand. Let's put this game into as many hands as we possibly can. No, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I can't object from a money perspective. Did you have any thoughts on Grounded 2?
I'm glad it exists, man. We need more variety, more people being bold, more people doing something different. I think it's gonna be a fun game for multiplayer. You get to make your armor out of insects, your Honey I Shrunk the Kids vibes, bro. To me, you could if you guys continue, you could do anything with this, man. Anything with this.
So I was streaming the Xbox show, right? And I'm like, do you understand? Well, like I said, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is the possibilities are endless. But I'm like, you're doing this in the backyard. I'm like, do you understand how scary the insect world is? Nightmare fuel.
Nightmare. Boy, that tarantula that was in Honey I Shrunk the Kids, I did not go to sleep.
Yeah, nightmare
All of a
fuel.
sudden, I stopped stepping on ants. I looked at it. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, pass.
Yeah,
Yeah, cause yo, that scorpion fight, right? It was a scorpion that
it
he
was a
fought, right?
scorpion. Because the thing is, they were scared of a daddy long legs, and it's like it's a daddy long legs. But yeah, the scorpion thing. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, fam. I'm like, you're the size of a bug. A bug that spiders wrap up in their webs and suck out their insides. A bug that wasps land on and lay their eggs inside their bodies.
But imagine a praying mantis, the
Bruh.
size of a skyscraper or a small car. You're dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
That junk could kill a bear.
Yeah. No, again, to me, I'm like, I actually, when I saw, I'm like, I'm surprised there's not more games like Grounded. I'm like, why is this the only company attempting something like this? It doesn't make.
Listen, a lot of people that are inspired don't have the money to be inspired to stay inspired. So
Mm,
you know, I think this was an opportunity. They just happen to meet a bunch of people that like the same thing.
yeah.
That's how these things usually happen anyway.
Hmm.
Me and this podcast, this inception of this
That's
podcast
true.
happened. We're at Whole Foods. Oh yeah, man. Somebody makes a comment about Dragon Ball Z. What? Are you crazy? There's does he also like anime? Only if someone who respects anime to the degree I do can make a comment such as bold as that. There you go.
Mm,
Um, hey, listen, man. This industry is a monkey see do.
I don't know why.
Don't know why, but it
I,
is.
yeah, I don't know why. I'm like, this is one of the most creative outlets in
You seen that?
entertainment,
You
and
seen
they're
that
just
first person shooter game that's with built off of toys? Your entire
yeah,
toy box.
yeah,
As a grown man, you think I'm gonna pick that over Call of Duty? Absolutely.
yeah.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that Toy Soldiers games was amazing for the PlayStation.
Mm.
You remember that?
Hmm.
What was it called?
You talking about Team Buddies?
No, Army Greenman.
Oh, I never played that one.
Oh, fire, dog, fire. I used to hate that game. Come on, I hated the army guys.
Mm.
I hate. Everybody's just green wax toys that you just
Yeah.
put.
Hut, hut,
But
hut, hut,
dog,
hut, 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 hut.
that game, Toy Soldiers, the movie. Come on, man.
Mm. Small
So
soldiers.
Small Soldiers.
Yeah,
Sorry,
small
Small
soldiers.
Soldiers. Yeah, classic,
Yeah, that's
classic.
again. The
Oh,
possibilities
the
are
possibilities. That's
endless.
that's how I feel about Grounded, man. I'm glad it exists. Um, if they could make inventory management just more accessible for people that are
No,
younger.
it needs a more appealing polish. Like I think that's the other unfortunate part. Like, it doesn't quite have the budget to do what I'm sure they would love to do. But I love that it's getting a sequel, and I hope that this continues to build and become more and more accessible to more people. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's gonna also coming to the PlayStation. So I'm not,
I mean,
yeah,
there was maybe 2 games announced that aren't coming to PlayStation out of y'all
for
entire
now.
showcase.
For now.
Yeah. Let's see what else is on my list. Okay, explain to me why we need a Fallout fishing game.
Let's turn to page 2 Samuel 7:22. I don't have an answer for you, dog. I was like, this was the first thing they showed us during the when the videos was loading before they even got to the event. And then I'm watching
No.
what it actually is.
Mm.
What?
I know the Cozy Life games have never been bigger. I don't I don't I don't I don't I don't know. I don't Come catch a fish with 6 eyes in the Fallout universe. 70 scales, 8 gills. A goldfish with a shark fin. And Fallout 76 gone fishing. I thought they were joking. I thought this was like a trailer to something else. And I thought it was gonna be like, the static cuts out. It was like, just JK, JK, we're making that remaster you guys wanted. It's like, no, this is a real game.
It was an IS. I'm serious.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna ask Jory because I do not see how this
What you got me for?
crosses over. You the Xbox expertise, bruh?
Wait. You're asking the question that I would ask in first person. So there was no. You already knew what Joey was gonna think. You already knew what I was going to refute, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, why does this exist? I don't understand.
I thought it was a theme for a background, Xbox background.
You don't say. Let's see what else we got here. Aphelion or Aphelion. Uncharted in space. Black girl in the spacesuit. She's looking for some guy. Scaling all little.
That was Uncharted in space?
That's how I took it as. Everything about it reminded me of Uncharted.
I ain't care though.
I like Uncharted. So,
this game is. I mean, I don't want to play Gravity the game. I don't want to play. I feel like she Laura Croft from the recent Tomb Raiders in space.
Yeah.
I don't want to play that. I hate that character. I hate that version of Laura Croft. Getting stabbed by nothing.
It was
Getting
only
bit
in
by
the first
mosquito.
game she was getting stabbed like that. It wasn't as bad in the sequels.
Getting she get execution, dog.
I know.
Gears of War execution.
They did a little bit too much. Like, you could have just cut the black. We didn't need to see the wolves viciously rip her apart because to make her to prove a point.
She's 21, man. What did she do? I think that game put a bad taste in my mouth, dog. So I never respected it.
It was Tomb Raider, then turned it into Saw. They turned it into Hostel.
She. Feel me? A monsoon happens, dog. Piece of the bottom of a chair breaks off and finds a way into her rib cage. And,
Yeah.
and she gotta swim back to shore. Like,
how do you feel about Ninja Gaiden being in the Devil May Cry 4 era? Because that is literally what Ninja Gaiden 4 is. Devil May Cry 4.
They gotta stop doing that stuff, man. We didn't like Ninja Gaiden for this new pupil to come out of nowhere.
Devil May Cry 4.
Um, I don't know. I don't.
Here's Nero.
I hate that Team Ninja does that. I mean, not Team Ninja. I don't know whose idea was it for them to do that. Like, you didn't have to do that. You already have Kasumi. You could have put Hayate. You could have made that Hayate. Hayate's younger than Ryu. I would have taken that. I don't understand why these people don't use their material. Like, what's this new character? Who and then what's the lore behind them? If it was me, I would have easily made my fake version of Shinobi, and then like that way we get a rivalry that we always wanted but never got.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like, yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, his powers seems cool. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
the little stinger drill,
the blood. But everybody uses blood magic now. Blood weapons now. Weapons made out of blood. So I'm like, I don't care. You know, it's played out now. How do I feel about it? I don't want to play as homie. I don't care about him already. Yeah. How long is Ryu in this game? Don't do that to me, man. Don't make it be 85% buddy. And we're going up against a. Why are we always? Do they hate Ryu? This is the second time they did something like this.
Maybe they feel like he's too generic. In the world, and as far as games have come, I mean,
I think he works, man. He still works, man. I think he works. He still works for me, man. How else do you want him to be? What do you want him to have a family and see him shed a tear and cry? What if he's just stoic? Huh? What do you want? What do you want him to Kratos his way into?
He's a little John
I need
Wick.
you to feel something.
Little John Wick.
Little John. Have you beat any of the Ninja Gaidens?
2.
You beat 2?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to throw my controller across the room, but I beat 2.
Did you play any of the Dead or Alives?
Yeah. I never owned any of them, but I played them, of course.
He's not generic. And I mean, at least not to me, man.
No, when I say generic, I mean to the greater population of like, you show a casual gamer the new Shinobi game and you show them Ninja Gaiden and they might confuse the two. That's what I mean.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, the average gamer can't tell the difference between their left hand and their right hand, man. So I don't know how much of information. I don't know what else you can do with that. You know, I don't know how far.
Introduce Nero.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think so, man. You have Hayate looks completely different than Buddy. I would have chose him. I just don't like this. Then don't make it Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, make it something else. Create it, make it a success.
They kind of had to make Ninja Gaiden 4, bro. You gotta get the smut off your name after 3. You gotta.
And the way you do that is you keep Ryu Hayabusa.
Well, again, we don't know yet. We don't know.
I don't think he's gonna. It doesn't. They didn't even start off with him. You know what I'm saying? They
did it.
Like, they keep showing. They're not showing me. They're showing me this kid running on walls. Look what our new character can do.
He even has the Azuna drop.
And he's going after Ryu Hayabusa. Like, when we play Bayonetta 3, we don't want to play as the daughter, the Virgil daughter, Viola, whatever her name is. We want to play as Bayonetta. Yeah. And we're not even playing as the Bayonetta that we got introduced. No. We're playing to a variant Bayonetta.
Yes.
Stop it.
It's a little girl Bayonetta all grown
about
up.
You guys that don't understand that people, if listen, when I want to play Batman, do you think those other Batmans are Bruce Wayne to me? They're not. I want Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't care. You think I'm gonna play as Atreus over Kratos? No. I won't ever die. You think given the opportunity to play Peter Parker, I'm not gonna pick Peter Parker. I'm gonna pick Peter Parker.
Yeah, I do it is kind of a head scratcher of like, why is it that it seems, especially on the Japanese side, like why is it that they take their coolest characters and decide that they need a successor? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why did you feel like you needed Nero for Devil May Cry 4? You have Dante.
And we didn't care about Dante. I mean, we didn't care about Nero at all. Nero's still not loved as much as Dante. Y'all had to turn him to a super
He had,
a
yeah.
super being.
Yeah, bruh. Let's keep moving because we're already running along. Tell me how you feel about Clockwork Revolution.
I'm happy that this is gonna make somebody who wants something like that very happy. I think the dialogue was amazing from what I was watching. Um the world is what it is.
OG English, but still.
Do I care about I'm not a big steampunk guy fan. The clockworking gears and Golden Army, Hellboy type stuff.
I'm not. The world of Wild Wild West was interesting to me. You know, the movie not so much, but the world was.
The world was, it definitely was, but did they give us anything?
No.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I think premise wise, it's a beautiful looking game. Even from the reveal trailer, I was like, wow, this looks great. For me, I'm just like, I I don't know. When it comes to some of these new IPs, I think a lot of it starts to blur together for me for some reason. And I know that's not fair. Like I know doesn't speak to the quality of that game, but that is how I feel sometimes. Like this just kind of feels like I need to really, really, really see something that catches my eye. And I'm not saying it won't have that. I just didn't see enough yet. Like a lot of the Xbox showcase, for as expensive as it looked, at some point it was starting to run together for me of like, okay, there's another similar esque thing.
Yeah, it did look like Outer Worlds, or it looked like it could be a section of
Yeah,
Outer Worlds.
bro.
It did look like it
Yeah,
could be a new Fallout. Yeah, but I liked it. I liked it. I think it's gonna do great because if there's anything that the game doesn't tell you, or the gaming community doesn't tell you, they love their steampunk themes.
for sure. Anything that gives them Bioshock vibes, they're like, let's do it.
Which Bioshock was a great concept because they went to a time that nobody actually valued.
Mm,
So but in Bioshock 3, that's definitely Bioshock 3 esque. So yeah, I mean, Clockwork was cool. Um, I know people are gonna enjoy the game. From what I can see, the dialogue is gonna be very rich, dialogue heavy game. Hopefully this team could help Mass Effect.
hopefully.
Hopefully, but yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
Okay, let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. Rest in peace, Killer Instinct on Xbox One. Hello, Invincible Versus.
I honestly think this is a test run, just to
For
see, because it's the old team of Killer Instinct, so I think they're gonna make another Killer Instinct. This is just to get everybody to see what they're capable of doing. To be honest with you,
but Killer Instinct was good enough to make another Killer Instinct.
well, Xbox is, for when we asked Phil Spencer at the time, they didn't have anybody to make the game,
Hmm.
so this probably was more of a easier legal work to do because the opportunity presented itself with Invincible already being in a fighting game. Because that was a weird one, right? Why is Invincible in Mortal Kombat? So this was probably something already worked on in the shadows or the background. And I think Xbox probably just needed to see how the team can this team still make a game of the quality that we would
Hmm.
and they can. They're showing that because it looks kind of like,
They're competent fighters, fighting game
yeah,
designers.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Hmm.
my whole thing when we were talking about this in the chat was never with the gameplay quality. That's not my concern. My whole
Yeah.
thing comes down to why an Invincible fighting game.
And I'm gonna get there. Um,
Like,
yeah, you had I for me they probably found that to be cheaper.
It's definitely cheaper in
So
comparison. It's going to be cheaper than making an action adventure game.
yeah, absolutely. They don't want to spend money. This is they'll spend money on Lord of the Rings because they understand that stuff until like they actually don't. But
It's
I know they like I would have made a Superman S game,
yes,
but they didn't want to spend the bread, man. They didn't want to spend.
It's an Amazon. You know, Amazon probably wipes their butt with the budget of Invincible every day, just based off Prime income.
Again, man.
Like they're probably saying,
We not.
Well, I'm gonna pull the Fallout budget today. Tomorrow I'm gonna take the Lord of the Rings budget.
We not. Again, we not.
4-ply toilet paper. Just
we not in the room, man. We're not in the room, man. Like we're not in the room.
You thought to yourself,
a fighting game, and you
Rex
guys are going up
Explosion.
against.
That's the guy.
Yeah, Rex. Rex versus a Viltrumite Empire. Let's do it, man. Like I'm not gonna die in 30 seconds, depending
Bulletproof.
on the writer's ability. Yeah, like man.
Not to mention, it doesn't help that
he's black and his name is Bulletproof. But,
yeah, it also doesn't help the fact that, not for nothing, the Viltrumites are probably, respectfully, one of the most boring Superman likes in that genre. Superman has powers. The Viltrumites don't have powers. The difference between Mark and his dad is his dad can punch harder. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no.
That is crazy.
They don't have abilities. So like,
oh boy,
yeah,
we're going up against a Kryptonian dog. Yeesh.
Homelander at least has eye lasers. They don't have abilities. Adam Eve is probably the most diverse character you're going to have on that roster.
And they'd be putting up these people against Superman in a.
My biggest question is why?
and that'd have been easy. Now you don't have to worry about the powers of Superman, because you don't have to worry about flying at the speed of life. Hey man, they don't want to do it, man. I would have petitioned for that. Don't Amazon have a gaming studio anyway?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would have done.
I have my hand to my head because I'm just like, I just don't understand why these companies like, no, I'm gonna go the hard way. It's the way that seems easy. Oh, fighting game. The Invincible property is hot. I'm like, this is not. You're making it difficult for yourself.
It's gonna die. Who you? This is gonna be Battle of the Grid. People like, oh no, it can't be Battle of the Grid because it has better graphics. I said, dog, but Marvel is coming out. Street Fighters exist. Tekken's here. Virtual Fighters coming out. You think people are gonna Virtual Fight? But it's a 3v3. There's a 4v4 out there. I could get that out of Guilty Gear right now. I could still play Dragon Ball Z Fighters right now.
Yeah.
2XKO is about to drop next week.
Yeah.
No, not next week. But, that's a little stretch. But
yeah, they've been pushing that date back.
Who's gonna? Yeah, who's picking you, man? You wasted your money. That would have been an interesting world aesthetic to have. That should have been the cut. That should have been the stage. Then you should have promoted all the fights you needed to promote. Then the world, you could have did your side missions. You could have had your side quest missions, X, Y, Z. Boom. With your blood in there.
You have a Superman like, and you only have to get one power set right.
One power set right. That's it.
No, let's make Invincible Mortal Kombat. Again, competent team. I'm sure the gameplay will be fine.
Oh, but like you said, but are they really competent when it comes to like, yo, who wants this in the market? Nobody. If anything, give us an adventure game.
Yeah. Battle for the Grid is a competent fighter, but
there's stuff that they didn't even put in the from a storyline they didn't even put in the game. I mean, the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. The last two things from the showcase, unless I missed something that you wanted to bring up.
excuse me.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. My phone timed out. Okay, last two things from the showcase that were worth highlighting. The official rollout of the Xbox partnership with ROG Ally. I found it interesting that there was no specs, no price, no release date.
So the specs are already on the Xbox website. It's better than the Rogue.
Okay.
It's super powerful. 120 1080p. I think the max probably for the other ones are like 720p.
Mm.
Yeah, it's definitely using a different chip. So the stats are there. It's very powerful. And I'm gonna say the price range for the black one is probably be 700, and the second one, just assuming, would probably be 5.
That's a very generous price for both.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be
Because the comparable market prices for the something like that is closer to like 800 to a grand.
be 750 for the black one, and it could be probably 5. This is where they'll bite the bullet.
Yeah, to me, I'm like, I think they should just eat the cost and keep it low.
I think
That's
that's
what
what
I
they're gonna do.
think they should do. You're a
I think
trillion
that
dollar
might be,
company. You're like
I think that's what they're gonna do,
yeah, eat
especially
the
with
cost.
them being able to make that money up back faster, because there's no red lines anymore.
And all roads lead to Game Pass. So
All road leads to Game Pass right now. So yep, that's pretty much it.
like, so for me, it's like I said to you before in the chat, I'm not as opposed to being in the Xbox ecosystem as I once was a few years ago. I'm looking for my in. You know, like I don't necessarily think I need an Xbox Series X, but I wouldn't mind like a handheld something like this. It's just the price point one, and then with devices like this, they're not really future proof. Like we're gonna get a new version of this in probably 2 years because that's just the tech market. So I'm like, do I drop?
No, the ROG Ally's been out for a while.
No, but what I'm
Yeah,
saying is like those gaps. It's gonna be like cell phones. Like the gaps between those are gonna start to get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. You know, like is this a thing that I buy that it's future proof for the next 3 to 4 years?
it's future proof. It's future proof in the sense that everything that you own and that you purchase at that time will transfer to the next device with
No,
ease.
for
So
for sure. It's just more so about
yeah.
this the entry point, right? Of like even with phones, even though it's been normalized in our brains, and I don't think it should. All we've seen is phones go up and up and up and up, where it's like you don't even think about the fact that you're holding a $1,200 device in your hand that you just throw on the bed, you know, like let bounce around in the case, like because you've been paying it in installments. So like that's more so what I mean of like, is it $700 now, $800 2 years from now? Where I'm just like, I got these expensive devices and I'm playing it for kids. I don't have to put this behind bedrock glass, you know, like sheetrock.
Right, but invest in that Apple Care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it's something where they're gonna eat the cost, I wouldn't mind. I think with them raising the prices for the Xbox Series X recently, I don't have much faith. I'm like, if anywhere if you should have been eating the cost anywhere, it should have been on your 5-year-old console. Like just slash the prices. Sell the Xbox Series X for like 350 and watch how much of an uptick you get, especially with the whole play anywhere aspect. That'd be my take. Like you're a $1 trillion company. Eat it on the hardware. You're gonna make it back in. You're a software company now for when it comes to your gaming division. Just eat the
Mm-hmm.
cost on the hardware. Bite the bullet, get it in people's hands, and then get them to the ecosystem. That's my thoughts. And transitioning from that, do you feel like Outer Worlds 2 was the right sacrificial lamb for the $80 rollout for Xbox?
I mean, I kind of. Sorry, man. Yeah, Outer Worlds 2 is made from a good team. The first Outer Worlds game is I can see why people like it. I can see why
Mm.
people be. It has its personality, man. It has everything going for it that games like it has going for it. So for them to charge $80, I'm not surprised. Am I gonna? I'm gonna be on Game Pass, man. So
But that's the conspiracy of like it's a thing to kind of, well, you could pay $80 or
or you could get Game Pass and then get it later.
right. But that's what I'm saying. I think that's the play of like
Yeah,
we put it out at this price. We know it might not hit that price, but that's because we want to get you on Game Pass instead.
yeah. I think. I think really that's what I would. I think that's what I would do, and I think it's fine. Um, I think it's fine in the sense that that game does have a lot in it, and like I would probably find a different way to charge the price that I would like to make on a game. Um, but it's kind of too like you don't have to buy it. I'm not gonna buy it, and I'm not saying that's a good model for everybody to have, but just a lot of people won't be having games day one. They're gonna be buying games later on, and that's sad. But at the same time, it's gonna shoot itself in the foot to where they're gonna have to recalibrate, because now you're so big, you need more calories at a certain amount of time and speed, and nobody's buying your games like that.
I
So if
agree.
10 people can afford it for $80 and 100 people can't, do you think the 100 people are gonna keep stay there? No.
I agree. I do think this is a strategy that ironically works out best for Xbox.
Mm.
PlayStation can't do it, Nintendo can't do it because like you said, you always have the Game Pass alternative.
Yeah.
As a PS5 owner, it's like I either pay the $80, or like you said, I don't get the day one.
You can pay the dollars, or we throw you in jail, man.
Yeah.
We brick your console.
Right. Right. So like I think um, you know, if Xbox can see a plan through for once in their lives, I think their pivot to get everybody into their streaming service essentially is a good plan, good theory, good business strategy. There is my conspiracy brain of it's the same thing I told Tim years and years and years and years ago where I saw DLC going and it got there. There's a place where I see Game Pass going and it's not great,
Oh,
but
then that's what everybody's gonna jump ship.
no, they're not because there won't be any ship. There won't be any dry land to jump onto at that point.
So Kevin Costner's Waterworld.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. This is my conspiracy theory. We'll close out on this because again we were running long.
Mm-hmm.
Look at movies. There was a time where even if you missed it in the theaters, the DVD was coming, the Blu-ray was coming, the Best Buy Black Friday sale was coming. You was about to snatch up all the Marvel movies for the low price of $8 each on Blu-ray. And then what happened? Streaming. Right? Now it's on this network. Now it's on this platform. Now it's on that platform. It's all scattered. And as that's happening, the prices for streaming is still reasonable. $10 gets you on Netflix. The world is your oyster, so on and so forth. But Netflix starts going up. HBO starts going up. All these Amazon starts going up. And what's starting to happen in the brick and mortar stores? Target don't even have a movie section anymore. Not a proper movie section anymore. So you have stuff. I don't. The Best Buy still does. I think,
No.
but they
No.
don't. Okay, so Best Buy and Target no longer have a movie section. Walmart's does for now. But as I go into Walmart, oh yeah, they have Wolverine and Deadpool on Blu-ray. How much is that? $35. Blu-rays used to be like 20. Huh. I guess I'll have to wait. So I say all that to say we're getting to a point with movies where it's like, and I tell you and Tim all the time, physical media, you kind of need it because what's going to happen now is you're not going to be able to find it at an affordable price. You're not going to find anywhere that's going to sell it to you. And all is going to be like, hey, if you want to watch this movie, sign up for this. I think games are next. of this is too much to buy on day one, but you don't want to be left out because it's your favorite game from your favorite company. Just sign up to our subscription service. You won't own the game, but that doesn't matter. You'll still have access to it, and that's what's most important, is getting the game into your hands by any means necessary. So just pay our subscription service and sign up today. All right? Should I unwrap the tinfoil, or am I somewhere in the ballpark here?
No, I'm just trying to visualize, man, what would I do in that situation and how crazy would I get? Bro, I'm gonna be real with you, man. If it gets there, we better be on the next crevice of Ready Player One. Because I mean that it's not gonna, then it's the industry as we know it is gone.
But what signs, like, okay, so with games creeping up to $80, Nintendo Joy-Con controllers being $95, consoles being no cheaper than $450, and this is in 2025. What happens in 2030?
Oh no, 2030, that's it, bro. Who's gonna be able to dish out $100 for stuff that they don't necessarily need? We're just gonna find a rise in sports and people can play hockey.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is gonna be, the hobby. Because now you get enough of people our age who's no longer gonna invest in that because it's too expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not at a place where we can just dish out $100 every week.
Even if I could, I wouldn't. Off of
Even
principle.
if you could, you wouldn't, right? Like off of principle. So yeah, we get Game Pass, but the Game Pass now is $120 a month. Forget it.
I don't think we'll get that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Microsoft in particular will do a good enough job of keeping Game Pass within reason, but that'll be it. If you want a physical copy or a digital copy, standalone is going to be $100.
The entire industry will be in trouble because who's gonna buy the software to make the 3D rendering? Who's gonna buy the Who's gonna make games anymore? It's not gonna be profitable. So
Hey.
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, dog. If it gets there, it's because people are unwise and greedy.
But we've seen an unreliable market, bro. We're seeing people complain and complain and complain and go swipe their credit card anyway. That's the other part of it, right? Like that's the other side of like.
No, but listen, man, that's because we got the luxury to do it. It's not, bro. Like, they're not gonna pick that over a Happy Meal, man.
No, but I get what you're saying about.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, I'm like, out of like, I was telling this to a friend earlier. I was like, do you realize that the gaming community is the only consumer base that will accept an unfinished product at full price? If you were to walk into Fantastic Four tomorrow and you see the storyboard where Mr. Fantastic CGI armor is going to be, you're walking right back out to the ticket counter. Like, what is this? Oh no! Marvel said they're going to be finishing the movie CGI by December. This is just, they wanted to make sure they met the deadline. You'd be like, no, no. This is the only industry where fans of the product will be like, oh, I'll just buy it. They'll get there. Not for full price. Day one patches to fix the game.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It took Mortal Kombat 2 years to have a 40 character roster. Mortal Kombat. You had a 40 character roster in Armageddon. One price. Everyone's here. Smash Brothers Ultimate. That's the only game that get $60 out of me tomorrow. You gave me everything.
You dealing with a different animal, though. You're dealing with a different animal. That shouldn't be an excuse, but Sakurai is just different, bro. But yeah, I get you.
Yes, what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is,
he's got a Geoff Keighley factor to him.
Yeah, he does it in a way where you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
What more could I ask you for? Like, I'm fighting Kazuya with Sora from Kingdom Hearts while ducking Hadoukens and flipping over a power geyser from Terry Bogard of all people.
Yeah.
You know, like I just I know it makes me feel like I'm a pessimist, but I'm just like I don't put any limitations on greed, bro. It's just like people are they're just anything to churn a dollar.
So that can't be the business model of businessmen. It's like make as much money as possible. Is that the is there nothing else that's better than that? That makes more sense than that.
It doesn't feel that way. Maybe there is, but it doesn't feel that way. I sent it in the group chat today. Ben Studios, their PlayStation canceled the game they asked them to make and then had to lay off people from their studio because all you see is numbers and margins. So we could be wrong, but it doesn't feel that way. The data suggests otherwise. Is pretty much what it is.
Man.
Yeah. Hate to end it on such a sour note.
I just really think I understand what you mean, but I don't know, man. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Because
Mark,
if they do anything, I do think it'll die, man. It's not impossible. You got a generation of people not playing games anymore, so the kids won't really they're not playing at a rate to where they're playing with their phone.
yeah,
Since they
all they
played
want is
for
their phone.
when
All
they
they
were
want is their
kids.
phone.
So for them to sit in front of a console, they probably won't do it.
These companies are depending on us to
And they're
sit
not
our kids in front of a console.
and they're not treating us with the wisdom that they need to be. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be over. Every kid plays touchscreen Grand Theft Auto. Like that's not. This is not gonna help you, man. It's not
Yeah.
great.
That should not be the experience they strive for.
Yeah,
All I need is my phone and Fortnite. Yikes.
X is right, man.
Yeah. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this extra long podcast. We had to do it big.
Yes,
It was
yes.
3 different showcases all at once. Many, 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 many games announced. There was topics we probably still could have covered, to be honest with you.
Yep.
But we'll park it for another time. Hopefully, as I play this back later, everything is is where it needs to be. So we're not dropping 1/3 of a 2-hour episode. But till next time, I am Antonius the Gamer, Super SSS rank. Press start select
Right.
podcast. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.